It's not magic. Like, and then I'm imagining in the future there's a super clip.
I think we're live. I'm sorry.
We are live.
Oh, we're just.
Wow, John is.
Are we on?
I don't know. Is the music still going?
Let's see here.
Wow,
Hey,
John's
John,
a wild.
Are we
He's
live? Did I do it correctly?
he's an
This is the backup, John.
He's an absolute landmine of gumption.
I don't know. Are we live?
I'll take a look on our YouTube.
Chat's
channel.
going to tell us shortly. I mean, we are live literally at the video. I don't know if our voices can be heard.
Yeah, I mean, I see us. Look at us go. Wow, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Well,
okay.
What's up, Alex?
We're live. Okay.
Hey, everybody. Well, today, you know what we're doing? We're playing some Sorcery Contested Realm because we want to crack into some Arthurian Legends in beta and have a nice time right before the holidays because we haven't got a chance to fully enjoy this one yet.
this one.
But I think we're going to do, what, a 2-1? You want to do 2-1 or 3-4 or what?
I feel like you talked about these boxes like my parents used to talk about their kids. It's like this, you know? It's like...
What, a 3-4?
No, it's like everything's going well except for, with this one.
No, both of these are
Clearly
my
pointing at
loving
John.
children.
What?
Alpha's probably my best kid, though.
Your best kid? Yeah.
Alpha.
It's hard to beat the first,
Yeah, how's everybody doing out there? It's lazy.
2-1 is fine by me. 3-1, 4-1. Just a pack extravaganza. So you're suggesting we play... There's a bunch of good comments coming out.
Let's do 4-2.
4 Arthurian Legends.
Yeah.
Two-
2 beta splasher.
Because it's a seal pool, so we need more than...
Yeah, we need 6. I mean, we could do 8.
4.
Do 5-3.
I mean, 4-2 is fun.
What about 6-2?
I mean, it could be
Let's
any...
do a 4-2 and see if we can make a deck.
It could be any combination you want, actually.
4-2 gives you the shot that if you get good enough cards in those beta packs, you actually could do water.
Well, yeah.
Like 6 turtles and some knights?
I feel like the real juice is if you get control in your beta packs, you're just so ahead.
Oh, that's true.
Because it's so light in Arthurian Legends, but...
So if you get any removal cards, you just rip them up.
Let's open our packs and then listen to Steven complain about his pool. Before we dive into all that, though, how's everyone doing out there? There's some good comments coming in, John, if you want to pop some.
Yeah.
We can engage with some of that before we tuck in and basically
Rob-
ignore chat
Rob
for
had
an
a
hour or
question
two.
from the very, very jump off. Here we go. I'll bring him up. Let's see.
How's the Christmas spirit doing this year for you?
Is that not coming up? Why is it not coming up?
It's not coming up.
I see nothing.
How's the Christmas spirit doing for you? You feel like you're in it?
No.
He was asking, do you guys still do flesh and blood content? Is what he had
When's the last
asked.
time we did Fab?
The last time a set came out? We played with those Blitz stacks?
Was that
Remember
the
that?
packet Rip It and Dip It?
No, that was a while ago.
That was Rip and...
Flip it, ship it, rip it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
That was disappointing is what that was, actually. That was Bright Lights.
Yeah. I just remember we played on stream and at some point you were just like, can you imagine if this was your first experience with this?
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There we
Brother
go.
Rob. You guys still do Flesh and Blood content. So we're only streaming 1 day a week. We do occasionally do Flesh and Blood content. But another element of that is earlier this year, I, as on a personal endeavor, stepped back from competing at Fab because I had a daughter and got really busy. So there's been a lot of stuff going on, and we've more been featuring stuff usually when stuff is releasing, and there just hasn't been a Fab set in a little bit. And then also, if you're off the track and you're not really competing, that game's hard to just casually engage with.
It's not a casual game.
Yeah, I mean, you can do
Never will
limited
be.
pools and stuff, but like
There is no casual Flesh and Blood.
now
It's an
that
absolute myth.
not fire hosing my Fab experience, it's just a lot way harder. So when we're thinking about like what we want to play and what we enjoy playing on a Wednesday afternoon, just hanging out streaming, it's just not at the top of the list, honestly.
It's not Fab.
Yeah.
Not for me, at least. I'm a big part of that. Alex Becker, hey, haven't been off for more than, working 11 hours a day since Thanksgiving, apparently.
That's what Alex
Driving
said?
the mail truck. Yeah. Well, God bless you for that.
Well, I guess maybe I could be a little less critical of the USPS. Knowing what's going on, it's not.
Hey, why don't you drive that truck down here to the Tulsa Regional Distribution Center and see what you can get done?
crack that whip?
If Alex went back to that Regional Distribution Center, you could fire everybody else and he would be more productive.
I don't know if that's true. I will. You know what's crazy?
What's that?
Well, I'm not going to go. Can you pull that comment back up, John?
Yeah.
I assume there's a bunch of well-meaning people running the Tulsa branch that are trying. Great caller. How was the
Really
Outback
nice
Pro
assumption.
tour, Zach? It was great. I went to Charlotte this past weekend. But next week, we're doing our holiday stream, and at the start of that, we're doing our Alpha Clash preview season kickoff. So I'll probably talk more about it generally then. However, I will just say, and I was talking to the team about this earlier, went to a few events this year. So historically, the past 3 or 4 years, competed a lot of big Fab events, Pro Tours, Worlds, etc. Then we went to Sorcery Con at the start of the year, February.
Sorcery Con 2.
And then we went to Sorcery Con 2 in Vegas.
Las Vegas Boogaloo.
Sorcery Con, the part 1 was like 75, 80 people.
Mm-hmm.
Part 2 in Vegas was 400-ish people. And to Vegas's credit, it was at Park MGM, which so far has been my favorite hotel in Vegas. Non-smoking. They have Bavettes. They have the Nomad Library restaurant.
And you know what? That little Italy place was great.
Italy?
Yeah, Italy. That's right. It was good.
That's some marketing genius.
It was really good.
It was really good. It's like at the one end of the casino is an area called, is it Little Italy?
I think it's just Italy.
Eat the word, play off of Italy. And it's just a bunch of Italian little other things. Like there's a little bar, a little coffee shop, gelato space, etc.
You can get a spritz at 10 a.m.
But I remember talking to David, who's one of the organizers of Sorcery Con, was it Juniper? Is that bar that's next to Bavette's at MGM Park?
No. It should be called Juniper. Maybe it is called Juniper.
It is.
It is. Okay, the restaurant in Tulsa I thought was like...
Steel Trap. So
it's a gin bar for sure.
Sunday night after the event's over, there was a group of Sorcery players that I was with, and we went there, and David happened to be there already, so we were chatting with him. And I was just telling him, like, I thought the Vegas event was really awesome, but I prefer the Seattle event. That's making me nervous. It's like jumpy on the screen.
Yeah, we're studying this. Right?
I like the Seattle event significantly more. And my theory at the time was Seattle was a singular, smaller room with like 70, 80 people. You were there for 3 days. And because it was smaller, you started to it was more intimate. You could see the same people more often. Someone you played in round 1 of the constructed event, you might also play in the sealed or be seated next to in the sealed event. And it was like, it was worth putting the effort in to remember, because you were so likely to see these people, and there's
same lunch spots, you know.
It's restricted lunch spots, so you just run into people and stuff. Versus Vegas, which is just like the fire hose of life.
Yeah, 2 fire hose experience. But today.
Are
you thinking about the fire hoses for some reason?
I don't know. I just picture that GIF of the fire hose, and I don't know. Anyways, so went to Clash Con, which is Alpha Clash's first Pro Tour. There were like upper 60s competitors in the tournament, but probably 100, 120 people there that weekend. And it's just really, I prefer smaller events.
That's the right size, isn't it?
Yeah, like we went to Essence here too, and it was like, I'm just not really into this anymore.
But that little bar in the woods?
Yeah.
I'd take that over 20 Essence.
Yeah, I would go there every day of my life. Like,
you?
I was literally looking up, so there's this, just for some context. We went on like a 2-mile walk maybe to get to this beer garden / bar in the middle of forest that happened to be a forest with trees from all over the world. That was cool.
Yeah, it was like a national forest.
But you walk up, and it's like there's fire coming out of the thing, and it smells a certain way, and it's just amazing. And then we walk back. But on the walk back, we went through these little, like, they're almost towns, etc. And I was just like, oh, how much is this house? I would just be curious, because, like, I don't know. It'd be really nice to just live in one of these houses and walk to this beer garden every day.
You think that could be your retirement?
Maybe.
Or maybe just your now.
Well,
you'd be a digital nomad, right? You just
I know.
Pipe in on the phone.
I know there are companies that are the like fully remote kind of thing. For me, it just is a total buzzkill. It's the same like playing card games online. I would be so unmotivated if I were just at my house. Even if I could just walk to that beer garden and work from there every day, as beautiful as it was.
Kind of ruin it though.
There's just a thing. Anyways, I like smaller events. That's the nature. That's the TLDR here.
But see, you're not very good, and we'll get to the old 2 Moots comment about the Facebook dumpster fire.
I was just gonna say, speaking of smaller events, like
that is sorcery. But I'm wanting you to make more controversial statements. See, you said I like smaller events, but I think you should say smaller events are better.
Yeah. They are for me.
Smaller companies are better. Smaller events are better. Smaller communities are better. everything that gets big inevitably in my lifetime seems to just it can't fight the inertia of getting worse. What do we do about that?
Well,
because you want to be successful.
I told
right?
you there was a bulk box brewing. There's a series of bulk boxes brewing.
You want to get bigger, you know?
Speaking of bulk box, real quick, hold on.
Like you want those big Facebook groups, there's 4,000 people just piled in there. Two people running the discussion, yelling.
And remember, chat, you got to play along, everyone out there. When I say bulk box, you say, what's a bulk box? And then I go, it's this beautiful storage system. There it is. System's a better word. That you can store your cards in. I funnily enough, I wore one of the sweatshirts I took with me to ClashCon, which was in Charlotte, North Carolina, which was abnormally cold.
Really?
The locals were saying, "Oh, it'll be 70s next week," but it was not 70s. It was like
Did they
20s.
not like check their weather apps?
Well, it was just abnormal.
They're looking at the old almanac,
freezing, and they're like, "Hey, this is like really strange." Just so you know, I was at a coffee shop, and they were like, "This is not normal." I was like, "Oh, great! The 1 week that Alpha Clash is having an event here, of course." Anywho, yeah, thank you very much, Edward. He gets it, Fast Eddie. This is bulk box, and I had a bulk box sweatshirt on. Is the point? You know, the one.
Yeah.
And people were asking me questions, and it amazed me how many people still didn't know this existed, even though it's right here in the shot every time.
Oh, it is every time.
It's a little blurry,
we're covering it up.
but check these out. They're on the website.
It's subtle.
It's weird to be so excited about a box. I didn't expect it, but I'm a huge fan of these for 1,000 reasons.
Did you saw the Reddit thread I shared, right? Where people using them for unmatched?
I did. I love it.
Unmatched stuff.
Endless uses for these
You can't
things.
imagine what a box can do, man.
Yeah, imagine if you had 3 of them.
You can store so much stuff in a box. It's so crazy.
Yeah, so Alex asking important questions. Like, wait, what is this Sorcery?
It's Sorcery. Yeah, Sorcery is a trading card game.
And he's also asking specifically, how can I get product on release?
Well, I'm
I
glad
can't
you
keep
asked.
up with the release dates once a year.
There's a Sorcery trading card game subscription that we run, actually, where we'll just send you the number of booster boxes you want every set at MSRP without any funny business, and on a release date that's conducive to release day, or a shipping date conducive to release day delivery. Although, Mr. Becker, your USPS delivery service has been letting us down recently. So please take it up with Louis de whatever's, Louis de Joy.
Very disappointing. Hey, Sean, one of the developers on Sorcery. We are playing mixed Sorcery Sealed.
Great interview.
For Arthurian Legends 2 beta. I love that you're mentioning an interview that we still aren't sure how we're going to use.
Oh, we're going to publish that bad boy.
Oh, we are. Somehow, some way.
It was too good.
We interviewed Sean and Jesse at Essen because we didn't know when we'd be able to physically be in person with them to do that again because they're...
from New Zealand,
APAC.
Australia.
Is it APAC the region, right? Asia Pacific?
Asia Pacific.
I hear people saying that. I'm hipping with it.
Yeah, hey, you're a fan.
I learned about TFW yesterday.
That feeling when?
That feeling when.
You learned about TFW? What is that, 2008?
I knew the saying that feeling when. I didn't know that people acronymed it.
Oh, wow.
Someone said, John actually was like, that's a long story.
Really?
Anyways, it came up.
And you do get onto the internet from time to time, right?
TFW straight from, I don't know, the 2000s, 2010s.
Thank you. Yes, it is ancient. Yeah, you're not.
As into technology as I am and social media, I actually, at this point, avoid the internet when possible.
Well, good for you. We have a lot to talk about then.
Yeah. You may make controversial statements because the internet is a garbage can.
So why are small things better? You were going to get on your bulk box.
Oh, it's easy. It's easy to understand why the small things are better. And this is one man's opinion. This comes straight from experience. The more people involved, the less concentrated something is. So similar, I'm terrible at making analogies, but here we are. When you're like, my favorite foods are oftentimes the least complicated ones.
Okay.
As an example, I love blueberries. One ingredient is blueberries. But really, like, you look at some of the things, like, even we were talking about there's some Christmas candy someone had out there earlier. And it's for just a piece of chocolate, like, so many ingredients. What's going on here? And it's just crazy what else is going on there. The point of it is, when people are creating something or working on something, the more people involved, the less min-max is the wrong word. I think concentration is better. The less concentrated it is into whatever it is. So when
there are more compromises, more dilution of the vision.
You're making a Star Wars movie, and there's committees of people that have to approve it, and we need enough creatures in it for merchandising, and we need to do this, and we can't say that, and we have to cast this, and et cetera, versus someone that just has a lot of freedom to do whatever they're doing. The less people getting involved, typically, the better. But there is a certain amount of, you see this across time and space. Like another good example of this would be like the Beatles, where a mixture of certain people also creates something. Mm-hmm. So it's somewhere between, in my opinion, the ideal size is somewhere between 1 and a large number, and it probably depends on the activity.
So between the Beatles and Walker Russo.
Yeah, because Sorcery is a good example of this, where if it was just Eric trying to do all of it, I think it would be worse. The art might not be worse. The game might not necessarily be worse. I think the game would be worse.
The game would be worse. The cards would be insane.
Yeah, which, again, for some, it might not be worse.
I'm not sure it would function.
But there's also a million things that a company making a game has to do that isn't just making the game. Mm-hmm. And so having more people around is helpful. And we experience this even at Covenant. But it's so hard to even name any job here. And if I did it or you did it, it would be different than if whoever's doing it is doing it. Mm-hmm.
And you can say better. It's fine.
I don't think that's true. I don't think I would edit videos. I don't think I would. In fact, even one of the very first things.
I'm just here for the shorts.
I was like, we need to hire someone. No, and this is
me.
Yeah, literally, we, as in us. But it's like, I need to get rid of shipping immediately. Mm-hmm. Because routinely doing something the same consistently and excellently and accurately is like, I will die. My soul will die. If I would do it. Don't get me wrong.
You would do it if you had to, or if it
and
was
I did,
worth it. Yeah.
But it was just like, I would have to quit at some point. It's like I couldn't ship orders all day every day.
You know what people call that these days? You weren't thriving.
What does that mean?
You just weren't thriving. You're supposed to be thriving, you know. And
you're supposed to be.
You're in a position where you're not thriving. Your soul is unnurtured, as it were.
Yeah, it was not a great spot. So, anywho, the bigger something gets, I think the less concentrated it gets, the less human it gets. Mm-hmm. Sorcery Con, it's like the being able to hide in a crowd thing, which is, if you meet someone, it's like, well, I might not see you again. Mm-hmm. So, similar when I run into someone at a coffee shop at the airport. Right. Like if I'm in line, it's like, But if you're going to a coffee shop you plan to come back to, you might engage a little more with the person behind the counter because you might see them tomorrow.
And if it's the same 20 people, they're always there, like Central Perk.
If I run into you every morning as I'm getting coffee and we're both just sitting there reading a book, it's like, well, I might at some point engage 3 of those deep, right? Or if I see, that kind of thing. But if I'm just at a Starbucks in random city, it's like I have zero need to engage.
You know, it's funny. You want to hear a funny story?
Yes, regale me.
I had my, what would she be? What's my cousin's wife? Is that just what I call her?
Cousin-in-law.
Is that a cousin-in-law?
Technically.
Okay, so my cousin-in-law.
I know my acronyms, but family stuff.
I've been trying to get really like as local and high quality clothing as I can. So like that's obviously not easy. Really not easy at all. But like getting away from like the fast fashion kind of stuff and trying to buy things that are gonna last for the next 20 years. And she sent me a message and said, hey, do you have any recommendation for wool socks? And I had done some research on socks, and there are people that are making them, like they're making them all in U.S. mills, and the cotton and the wool and stuff is coming from U.S. stuff. So there's no international shipping and all of the things involved in that. And you have to treat it because they don't have to get it across the water, and it's insane. So I gave her some brand names, and then she asked about Smart Wool. I have Smart Wool socks on right now, but Smart Wool used to be like the go-to answer. It was the wool socks you get. You're going hiking, you're doing outdoor stuff, you get Smart Wool. They're expensive, they'll last forever. And all of the socks from them that I bought like 15 years ago when I first got into hiking, that is true of. My most recent pairs are all completely falling apart. And you know what I thought to myself? I said, I'll just check. I just want to check. And you know what? Steven found out that in, I think it was 2011, they got bought by some alphabet soup investment company that also bought North Face and Columbia and all these kinds of things. And everything started tanking.
There's a word for that process, right?
Yes, there is.
Which we can't.
I guess we
properly
don't say it. If it's in the middle of the word, is it really a curse word? You know, because I'm not saying like PG. You know. But anyway, yeah, it was just notably worse, and it's like I'm so tired of seeing this. It's like so predictable. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
It's now depressing, and I don't want to work with anybody or be around things that are caught up in that garbage anymore. So, Andrew Navarre, if you're going to sell your Earthborn Studios to a large conglomerate of soulless profit suckers, let us know ahead of time so we can just be done with it.
I would be very surprised if he did.
Same goes for Ex
that,
Curiosa.
but you know, make the check big enough, and I can't blame anybody.
Be a part of XYZ.
You know,
Limited.
If the check is big enough, would I go to that random little small town in Germany and go to that beer garden every day?
Yes. I would. Yeah, I'm not above doing that ourselves because I'll just leave.
But just know if it happens, it's going to get worse.
That big novelty check, and then I go on the plane.
Those words that we're trying so carefully to avoid saying. So,
yes, indudification, okay, I think is good.
Yeah, and shootification. Yeah.
What about the Sorcery reprint? What's going on, man? I'm so over the internet. Honestly, I just don't even care.
Like I said,
I just don't even care.
I try to avoid the internet when and where possible.
Yeah, well, it's easy to do on Facebook.
Yeah,
just don't log in.
Short version is, as far as I can tell, Simon from Ex Curiosa went on Kev Mo's podcast.
Yeah,
and was talking about the fact that they are going to be doing some limited amount of beta reprinting in the future. There's more pre-cons coming
to get into like LGSs or something.
And even just I don't want to speak for Simon or Ex Curiosa, but I get a sense that it's more out of we are a small game that releases once a year, and there needs to be product available for people to engage with the game. And so as more players and more stores learn about and decide to support or build communities around Sorcery, them having access to starter sets and cards and whatnot. And I remember a long time ago, Eric talked about the revised set, adjustments and reprints, and as Eric's, one of the things I love about Ex Curiosa is, and this drives some people crazy, but just a lack of details. Like they don't tell you there's curios or how many there are, that kind of thing, and it's like it's just figure it out later, or you can figure it out through your experience. So I get the sense it's out of we just want to make sure that as new players and stores are getting engaged, they have the ability to have product. And they've also talked about doing a pretty extensive in the first half of next year onboarding / outreach to local spaces and stores to build communities and stuff. And it seems like they're going to include product in that, where it's like
a welcome kit or something.
Yeah, it's like here's starters and here's a couple booster boxes and you can host a draft event and here's the stuff that you can do with it, and seemingly very targeted at specific stores. So, anyways, they mentioned the idea that could happen or would happen in some limited capacity, and my goodness.
Was there ink?
Things went wild on Facebook and Sorcery. And at this point, I love seeing not the angst, but
You don't love it a little bit? It's just that everybody want to watch you turn your head a little bit when you see the car wreck kind of thing. Isn't that kind of vibe?
It is fascinating. It is fascinating. You keep trying to pin me into these comments. I can see them. You should keep trying. I think that's the new shtick.
I'll get it.
So it feels like to me generally, and again, this is someone who is trying to avoid the internet, but it feels like it's cooled down. And a few things have happened, which one is because there was a second wave of Arthurian Legends that went out, and it was pretty evident quickly.
Did the same thing that always happen with every TCG ever? Did a bunch of people list it as low as they could on TCG Player, trying to flip it real quick?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So prices went down, but now last I checked, Arthurian Legends boxes on like TCG Player were 150 or something.
Yeah, you got to drive off the leeches and the parasites.
Yeah,
and then
and I think that this whole system's crazy. I heard stories, and I can't confirm because this is not my experience, but of effectively stores before Arthurian Legends saying, "Hey, I want let's call it 500 boxes for easy math." 5 is a nice round number.
Earn boxes over Arthurian?
Of Arthurian Legends. Let's say a store said
because they wanted the beta attendees. and the alpha attendees, right?
Because they knew or they expected that when Arthurian Legends came out, they wouldn't get their full allocation. And so they say 500, but they actually only want 200, right? So
amazing.
Then they get allocated. Let's say they get allocated to 150. They didn't get the 200 they were hoping for. But the stories I was hearing, and this both doesn't apply to us currently, but wouldn't have in the past either, because we have never sold a game like Magic. But there were stories of distributors effectively coming back with a second wave and saying, you said you wanted 500, we sent you 150, and now you're going to take the rest of this. And then, of course, they don't have to, but if you don't, perhaps your allocations of other things moving forward will be unfavorable.
Isn't it kind of, does it alarm you how much this feels like something I would see in like a mafia movie? Where it's like, hey, we're not saying you have to pay us, but you know, if your legs get broken,
I like the accent.
You know?
So it's crazy to me, but particularly crazy because we actually we had somewhat of a similar experience with Pokemon. We did Pokemon for a minute.
I remember that. Yeah.
Pokemon was the first game locally at 2.0 specifically. There was a community building around Pokemon, so we checked to see if we could get it. And we could. And short version is we got to a point, Pokemon went crazy in 2020, 2021. And all of a sudden, we had a subscription that was pretty successful for us that like went crazy. It's like all of a sudden, all these things signed up. And then, of course, like we got allocated to the moon on the first time that happened, even though we've been told otherwise. So that's a whole different story. But
hey, promises kept, promises kept. You know?
Yeah. It's like, anyways, I'm not going to dive into all that. But the short version is they came back to us after we've been allocated like crazy. And, you know, the way a subscription service works, we charge, ship, and it's over. But they came back to us and it was like, hey, here's the other 90% of the allocation you said you wanted, but we didn't give you. It's like, well, wait a second. Like, our time to charge for that product through our subscription is gone. And it was definitely that same vibe of like, well, if you don't pick up this, then. And
I hate that kind of stuff.
Fortunately for us, that's the only thing we're buying from distribution. So I was like, all right, you can keep your boxes. We're going to cancel the Pokemon subscription because this is.
And you'll never hear from us again.
And you'll literally never get any. Anyways, but the thing that's weird to me about that is if that's going to be the setup, I would want that to be very clear to me.
Just make it a rewards program or whatever.
Going in, you know what I mean? Which is like, hey, if you commit to a number, you're committed to that many boxes, period. We might not be able to deliver it all up front. And that was ultimately, after that happened, that's what we learned. It's like, no, if you say a number, like but we don't have to tell you when you're going to get it. So like it could be a year later.
And also sometimes you won't. If we're making enough money selling it and it's really high demand, we're not going to give you the numbers that you want. But if we're having trouble selling it, we're definitely going to give you the numbers that you want.
And then you have to buy. Anyways.
Imagine.
So you can imagine, I used to just get angry. It was like, oh, these, like, you said the word leeches, like just selling these boxes as cheap as they can and whatever. But, if you're a store and it's 2 months after release and let's say you honestly wanted 300 boxes if you were going to get them by release. You only get 100.
It's a lot of players you're supporting with 300 boxes.
I mean, hey, who knows? Like, that every time.
It's a lot of tournaments.
Yeah.
It's a lot of tournaments you're hosting.
Yeah. Well, all that to say, let's say you honestly would have bought 300 and been happy with it if you got them in time for release, and you only get 100. And then, of course, a month, 2 months later, the demand for something is way less than on release. It's just organic. Even if it's not, you're just trying to rig the system, or you're just trying to sell as many as you can online for whatever you can. So I can empathize with. If you're that store and they come back to you and they say, hey, there's 200 more boxes, you're either taking them or good luck in the future with us.
Yeah.
If you're that store, it makes a lot of sense. Like, oh, you get 200 boxes in, you sell 20 more locally, now you've got 180. And it's like, all right.
So you do have to fire sale.
I need to get rid of these immediately because that could put you out, especially in this season.
Yeah.
It's like that could just put you out of business.
I think that is reasonable to see it as an output of a broken system rather than a personal choice by some of these store owners.
Yeah.
Right. This is because the system is so fundamentally broken. This is the behavior that has to spring forth from it. Especially because if your only option is to order from distributor A or distributor B, or for some distributor A, and they're like, well, if you don't take these, like, maybe you can't order anymore. You have to take them. They hold literally all of the power in that equation, and so they can effectively do whatever they want to you.
Yeah.
And this is what we see. And so here we are.
Yeah, and that's on top of people who would just routinely be selling them for the whatever the bottom of the online price is, because we've seen this over and over.
The volume sellers, if you will.
Yeah, which is sometimes just someone in a basement, and sometimes it's a big online store that is just get as much as you can, sell it for, even if you're making $5 a box, like
5 times 1,000,
rinse, repeat, and you do the whole thing. All that to say, I actually think the news that they were going to reprint beta has the most dramatic effect on people who are buying beta thinking it wasn't getting reprinted.
To resell it, or just to have an investment thing or whatever. Like, and it's not, it doesn't strike me as they're reprinting beta so much as there will be some more beta boxes printed somewhere. But it's like, if you were to say we're gonna reprint this Flesh and Blood set, or they're gonna reprint this Pokemon set, it's like, oh, they're gonna like reprint it and send it through distro and stuff. That there may be more beta boxes. I think there's a lot of information missing about how they're going to be distributed and how widespread it's going to be.
Some people were complaining about that, which is like, it's not that it is happening or isn't. It's just very unclear. And again, though, I think if you're a player and you have cards, if you don't have cards, you particularly want this. But the number one thing you have to have as a player of Sorcery is other players. And so I get a sense that if you're primarily something that's not a player, this news could hit. And it could be a collector who just wants to get things, and now it's like, oh, there's going to be input of this, so it's not even... Is it really collectible if there's too much?
Yeah. It's not as fun to collect stuff that's widely available.
Could be a speculator, could be a flipper, could be a whatever that this thing. Could even, maybe you're a store who got a limited allocation on the reprint that we did get, and you were reserving it and having it so you could have prizes and limited and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, but there's going to be more. So what was I? Why didn't I just go ahead and sell these 2 months ago or whatever it was? So
it is also, it's worth not losing track of in these kinds of conversations how nice it is as a player to have prices high for a lot of reasons. Like, I went to Sorcery Con 2 and sold a ring of whatever for like $700.
Morgan foil.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a speculator, flipper, collector, any of that. I just open packs, get cards, play sealed.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, to turn that around to fund my entire Arthurian Legends spend was great.
Yeah.
Like, I like that environment for that moment.
I don't think anyone wants the feeling of, I bought a product a month ago that is now worth a lot less than, or that is now available for less than I paid for it.
You pre-order for like $150 and now you can get it for $90.
Yeah, it's like that's not ideal. But all that to say, we've experienced a time when, because it was probably like March of this year until October, beta was just unavailable. Yeah. And at that point, nothing was available. And so that's a really weird spot to be in.
And then the pendulum was, you didn't print enough. There's not enough product. They're not getting any new players. This game is dying.
Oh, no, way too much.
And then we go to the reprint side of the cycle, and now the game is dying for this other reason. It's TCG stuff a million times.
This is just part of the problem with the internet, is that there's enough people, and it's easy enough to engage, that no matter what happens...
Engage.
Well, to post or
it's
whatever.
Easy enough to fire hose.
There will always be someone that's upset or affected by something negatively.
Right.
And so any of these things, like even just reprinting beta, there's a large enough group of people that were upset that there was noise. But it seems like it cooled down, and people are, and it didn't seem, I don't know. It can seem loud because it's just constant, but it really wasn't volumetrically a lot of people. And I love the Sorcery approach from the beginning has been, as long as we just keep making a banger product, everything else will take care of itself. And I get it. Like, you want to have product to be able to promote. You want to be able to onboard stores. You want to be able to onboard players.
They might have been reprinting packs to put in the pre-cons anyway.
Assuming the packs are in there, you have to.
It might be like, hey, do you want to hit a break point and get some boxes? Like, there's all sorts of reasons for that. But yeah, I like that take. I also thought it was funny. It's been fun to watch how this once a year release kind of plays out, because everybody, you can tell the training, kind of the mental training on a lot of the TCG circles is this product should come out, it should be out of stock relatively quickly, and then prices should go up for infinity, right? It should just kind of keep crawling up because they're not making any more. And this has to be around for a year, right? And so like people are like, they've overprinted Arthurian Legends, let's see in 7 months how much Arthurian Legends is left, because I think it's going to continue to move and trickle out, and new people get interested. You want to rebuy, you want to get some packs, and then it'll be 6 months later and it'll be gone, and then everyone's like, where's all the Arthurian Legends?
You didn't make enough Arthurian Legends,
enough, right? So anyway, I guess our plan is to play some sealed. I don't know what else to do. I bought enough Arthurian and beta that I feel like I can do that for a little while.
If there's anything we're missing or any perspectives to add, that's great. I haven't really been paying attention to chat for a minute. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it's definitely even now. Like there was a small reprint of beta. We limited it this time around to 6 per person, but it's not gonna last forever or very long at this point. And so we're looking at, let's say the next set's October of next year.
Yeah.
Like it's gone, and then there's I mean, even the next set though, it's like are you really willing to say like this is your first set of 2 so far is just gone permanently?
I don't know. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, I got plenty of product. I bought 4 boxes of what did I buy?
That ring money should have been buying more boxes.
No, I don't put it back into boxes.
Yeah.
I put that into that Nomad dinner actually.
Oh, there it is.
And I put $100 of it into a slot machine.
I was gonna say. Oh, I almost said you're not degenerate with it. Like I would have been like, oh, let's buy more stuff.
It did feel like free money, to be fair.
Yeah.
And when you're in Vegas and you suddenly have what you think in your head is like house money, literally, it's pretty easy. But I only did 100, so that's 1/7.
That's reasonable.
That's reasonable, right?
Yeah,
and then like 100 on food.
My
like 500 home.
Knowing myself, my rule on gambling is I go in with a very fixed amount of money.
Yeah.
And I'm unwilling. I didn't gamble at all in Vegas.
I know. I noticed.
I was too tired. I was just way too tired.
Outside of that princess machine, it was great. Okay, what's going on? Hey, Chaotic Great. We got the good necks.
The goods. Chaotic Great saying I like that they're prioritizing getting the game played. I think in the 10-year view, that is absolutely the most important part.
Yeah, for sure. In
the 1 month, 1 week view, or the 6 month view, it might hit a little differently. But
ooh, I got the Warhorse already off the bat. I'm winning. Did you know? Is there an appreciation of the fact that there's no way to do the TCG well? Like it's not an equation that can ever be balanced. It's constantly moved. There is actually no balance to it.
You particularly mean around supply?
Well, just about like, okay, player focused versus collector focused, and the scales one way or the other, opposite interests, but both want new players. But what you want the collectors to do, or what the collectors want you to do, creates maybe not new players here. What the players want you to do creates new players, but it hurts the collectors. It's not possible to like do it perfectly. So at some point in the cycle, somebody's mad. It doesn't matter kind of who it is, but the collectors will get better. The money people get back on board, 3 months whenever all the boxes are starting to move and all of the prices are going up, and then they're like,
like inevitably Arthurian Legends will be sold out.
It'll happen.
We'll be back in the cycle. Well, I think particularly around supply, Sean coming from Sorcery, all about getting new stores and new players up and running.
Yeah.
Can't fight that. But with supply, it's such a treacherous reality because it's an impossible equation. You're either going to print too much or too little.
Yeah.
And if you print too much, there will be people complaining, whether it's stores that can't sell product because it's deep discounted, or people that bought it assuming it would, whatever, and it doesn't. If you print too little, there'll also be issues,
Always.
Which is we've seen that 1,000 times. That's the FFG classic. Who could ever want this product we're making?
Hey, what do you think about that? They're doing this collector booster.
I hate it.
Tell me why, though. I don't.
You really are looking to set me off today,
well,
aren't you?
I tried to hate it, but I couldn't find a reason because it doesn't impact anybody really.
I will tell you why.
Okay.
So there is I'm going to get up on my high horse bolt box. There is a purity to
oh man,
the
yikes!
Like there's a veil As an example. Let's let me back this up for a second.
This is like me trying to talk about it. It's actually quite difficult.
It's not though. So
I didn't get any water cards in that pack.
there's an authenticity to, like, when I see Eris Curiosa, or even like this weekend I went to ClashCon for Alpha Clash. There's such an authenticity there to the experience being created and what just effectively what you're wanting people to feel and experience at the table. And to me, the collector box is just, and it's fine ultimately, but it's broadcasting something, which is we're here to take your money and make money.
But they're
and that's,
it doesn't impact anybody though. The normal boxes are the normal boxes. You don't have to buy the collector box. It's just filled with shiny stuff for shiny people.
Fine. It is fine.
People that want shiny stuff.
But like, I would rather, like, if Sorcery had collector boxes, I think a lot of the charm and the magic of opening Sorcery, like, maybe there's only curios in the collector boxes, and maybe there's only foils in the collector. Like, it's so special to get a foil in Sorcery.
Yeah.
And I like that experience being offered. And so you're just sort of like, take it out of that box and put it in this. And it just feels a little gross to charge like $30 for a pack.
I've been struggling with this a lot.
It's fine in that it's not harmful to me,
right,
as an individual. I just don't like I like that there's one SKU a year for Sorcery. Yeah. One product.
I mean, as the fact that it's like simple, or is it because it's just too overt?
Major explosion.
It's too overt to just have a box.
That's what I meant by the veil. You know what I mean?
It's a box of just gamble money.
Yeah, like a booster box right now. It's like, yeah, you could get something crazy. You're probably not going to get a curio, but you could. That's cool. But like, we can buy a box of Arthurian Legends, and we can have 4 sealed pulls with that, or an 8-person draft. And we know we're going to be able to build a deck out of that, or 2 decks, and play. But there is just something like,
I haven't been able to put my finger on it. Ooh, Nelly. That's a good reason to run water.
Yeah, but at the same time, like,
look at that awesome foil.
Yeah, the overbearing Bala. That's cool.
Great foil too.
Put it in a $30 pack, Eris Curiosa. Print the money.
It's just gross for a reason that I've not been able to fully articulate.
I get that, because I also, like, let's just say, I think there are ways that are, like I said, charging $30 a pack. I'm now maybe backing off that one a little bit, because, like, the Magic Secret Layers is an example of this to me. I don't have a problem with that product as an idea. Like, I know one of my favorite artists from the Game of Thrones days, her name's Magalie, and she's now doing a lot of Magic art. But she did these land for Magic that were like stained glass.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And they put out a set, and it's like, yeah, I mean, if you want this particular style by this artist, and like, even seeing like Sorcery do the serialized playmatch through the artist. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know, if they did an alt art that you could only get from Liz Danforth, and she wanted to charge $100 a card for it, it's like, I mean,
yeah,
by all means, it doesn't affect anything. So the sense I get from,
I'm telling you, it's really hard to describe. It's like trying to find the words for a certain feeling. Yeah, there's an innocence that is just ripped out.
That's what I meant by the veil. Yeah, it's just like, it seems dishonest. Yeah, or it seems.
It's not dishonest though.
Well, it's not.
You're buying what you get.
I think when I said the word purity, right? It's like, I think about when I was a kid, and there were like collectible Marvel cards, and there were collectible card games like Pokemon, and like, there is a. I don't know the right word for it. That's what I'm saying, it just feels wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys have words for it?
Chat, we need help, please. There's something about it that it creates a sensation.
Dude, my second beta pack is a banger.
What'd you get?
Imperial Road.
Get wrecked, buddy.
Ooh, but I got Blink and Grapple Shot in the same pack.
Uh-oh. And you Undyne and Dodge Roll.
What's the final balance of packs you guys decided on?
2 beta, for Arthurian Legends.
Dude, this beta pack, while the Elite was not good, check this out. I got a Violent, a Sirocco Scorpions, a Grapple Shot, and a Blink in the same booster pack.
But look at who's playing this Pendulum of Peril.
Definitely you.
It's me.
Do you say pendulum?
Yeah.
Pendulum? Do people say pendulum?
I think some people say pendulum. And it might be pendulum. It might be one of those weird ones.
I like
it's pendulum.
I like pendulum better.
Well, it's the D would make you think it's the D sound, but
English is a funny.
it's a funny thing, isn't it? Man, these beta cards are all absolute hot sauce. Like it's just like I look at these and I'm like, man, like Blink, Grapple Shot. No, those are some Minor Explosion.
Dude, I'm just getting all the hits.
Those
My
are
Elite in this first
classics.
Arthurian Legends pack. Perilous Bridge.
You're gonna have a terrifying sight deck, my friend.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Did we ever figure out how to pronounce this guy?
A funk.
Fonk? A Fank?
I think.
A Fank. The Fanks have it.
You know what? I feel the same way when I see the Whatnot Rippers and Dippers. I feel the same sense of something.
Yeah,
something here is what is it? An empty cup. It's like it's like a facade of something that's valuable and fun. But
Why do you think that is on the Whatnot?
it's very similar kind of feeling of like there's an important level of obfuscation that is happening in this experience that makes it not so I'm paying money to maybe hit a valuable card to sell it. Like that is all that it is. You're playing roulette.
Well, there is also
and it's a celebration of that behavior.
yeah.
It's a culture and it's a marketing tactic around this idea of like buy more packs, rip it, you could hit something big. Check out my big hits. I hit this big, check out this rip. It's like
Do you have a problem
disgusting.
with the concept of live selling of things?
I hope not.
He's on to me. Speaking of which, bulk box sorcery.
No,
Also,
maybe,
this shirt is now made by.
I think it's fine to like have products and say, here's what's good
So-
about this product and what I like, and you can buy it.
Like
also.
QVC.
Yeah, but it's just secondhand gambling.
So if I went on Whatnot and streamed,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Hey, I got a box of sorcery. You can buy a pack. I'll open it on stream and ship it to you."
Uh-huh.
Is that problematic?
I don't
for
know.
you?
Yeah, when you say it like that, it doesn't seem as bad. But if you said
It's like a communal opening experience where, if you like hanging out with me, you'll pay me to open packs for you and watch me.
maybe it is just the cultural element. If you're like, hey, join me at 12 p.m., I'm going to rip it, and we're going to have a big rip party. And
I don't like the word rip, I see.
I think I don't like the word rip.
Rip.
And hit. I don't like big hits.
Big hit.
Yeah. We got a big hit, and you hit the thing, you put it in the sleep. I don't know, man. I don't know. Feelings are complicated. Maybe it's a terrible.
Well, how do you feel about Horn of Carleon? Nearby minions have charge.
That's fantastic. Put on your avatar and everything's great.
Doesn't say friendly.
Yeah, but your avatar shouldn't be in the middle of the board.
Agreed.
So just put it on your avatar, and then everything you play has charge. It's fantastic. I don't know if you have time for it in sealed, but maybe you do.
I don't know if you don't have time for it.
Well, then I guess we'll see. Oof, Grey Wolves. Hate to see that in your sealed pool, don't you? Let me tell you, man, I've seen so many walls in these beta packs. I'm not sure that this is going to go anywhere.
Well, sometimes it'd be like that.
It's funny to look back on these water cards and be like, yeah, that's not it, is it?
Troll Bridge. Frisky Red Squirrel. I mean, how many games get a Frisky Red Squirrel?
Ashes would have one probably.
Yeah, for sure. I think we have a type. A game type.
Yeah. Why do I have a problem with that Whatnot thing? I think it is all cultural. I think it's all cultural.
It's the...
I think it's culture.
I was going to say, it could be a similar answer on the collector packs, which is it's one thing to have. Let's say there's a card in the pack that could be worth $1,000, but when it's like the curios in Sorcery, when it's so statistically unlikely, it's not really a marketable feature. It's not like you buy it thinking there's going to be really valuable thing in here.
Right.
It's just sometimes you get a
little spice
thing.
Yeah.
And so similar, maybe a comparable would be like a tournament. So Eric actually did this at Essen. They were having a premier tournament at White Rabbit, and they showed up, and the end was happening, and they didn't even have a cut. It was just, I think it was just literally X round of the Swiss, and then here were the top. But he shows up, and he's like, well, actually, top 4 all get an uncut sheet. And the winner is getting this replica Ring of Morrigan that Severin's husband had made, and it looked awesome. Now, if those prizes had been known prior to the tournament, the entire atmosphere and vibe and the players that are showing up is very different.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a custom made. I don't know how much that's worth, and this uncut sheet of uniques that the winner got. It's probably worth a weird amount of money, uncomfortable. But because it was a not known factor, it was a very different vibe.
The vibe was different.
So similar, it's like if you're buying a booster box, even with Star Wars Unlimited, it's like I think the showcases showed up 1 every 6 boxes. So you're just not even. Sometimes it'll happen. It's enough that if you buy enough boxes over time, you'll eventually get a showcase of some kind. But it's just not expected. So your approach, the kind of people that are willing to buy it, is very different.
Mm-hmm.
So I think inherently, when you're saying here's a collector box for $300, I don't think the average. Maybe that's where we're getting into the culture. The average just card game player is probably not going to be buying $300 collector boxes.
Right.
And so that attracts a certain.
It's like more monetary rewards if you spend more money, but it's all artificial. I mean, the whole thing is just. It's
artificial until they put the full art Vader in the collector box. And then even as a player, it's like, I mean, that Vader does look really cool.
Yeah.
So maybe I want it. Maybe I'll trade for it. Maybe I'll buy it.
I mean, it's all artificial in a way. But there's just like, there's a sacred ecosystem that is the collector people open the box searching for the thing that they need and they want to collect, and all the other stuff they sell, which lowers prices of everything for players, and then the big hits are valuable, and that's what everyone's looking for on the collector side. And so as you start to segment these communities out and say, player people, you buy these, and then collector people, you buy these, it's just it's even less of a shared experience even. It's like we're doing 2 separate things now.
Yeah. It's
Derek, why can you not stand it? That's what Tweak87, absolutely a clash of cultures, Banksy versus the art auction world. Actually, I like that guy buying the banana. Yeah, it ain't art.
It's something.
It's not art.
Yeah.
But why don't we spend some time between now and January trying to create some kind of a thesis?
You know what? Sounds like the podcast needs to come back.
We just work through it for 5 hours. We need to have a guest. Andrew can often be clarifying in these moments.
Well, we could have a series of guests tackle these.
Okay. I like that.
Difficult issues.
Navarre a lot of times will come in with straight up hits. Our boy Frenchie, by the way, I'm keeping up with Wonders and this Bo Jackson.
Wonders is the first. Is who you're talking about.
I like to have awareness on things happening. I like to just watch.
So you are not avoiding the internet.
Yeah, you comment on that one. I'm definitely watching Discord stuff play out everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Discord is one area of the internet that I'm not ignoring, but I'm also very particular about the Discords I'm willing to be in.
Yeah, I like to keep it spicy.
Yeah,
I like to see where all the
whatever
angst
this
is.
Frenchie business is. I don't.
Well, it's just like that culture, and that comes with the NFT culture and all of this stuff getting funneled into the TCG space as it did with Jake Paul and Pokemon necklaces and all that. Has definitely, it's the injection of that energy that is now why does it feel so wrong now for that energy to enter this space and it to now be about the value of hitting your rip rather than the deck that you're building, or the art that you love or those kinds of things.
I wish your name started with an R so it could be, X Robert Rips kind of a thing.
And I'm sure it's fun, you don't know what you get. It's a game of chance. It's a game of chance. You might stand to win.
People are saying they're sad the podcast has been gone for so long.
Yeah, we can get back into it.
She's coming back. We're just resetting.
2 Briar Patches is pretty good.
Briar Patch is good.
I got 2 patches and 2 Make-A-Dudes.
That card is...
I got 3 Make-A-Dudes. Dudes. I got to play 5 Earth then, so that pretty much solves my problem there.
Major Explosion is the point of my deck right now. Look at this thing.
It's a good card. Are you playing any artifacts or undead minions?
Definitely not. I'm not playing that specific artifact I showed you that gave all my things charge. Definitely not. Not me. No.
I might actually play that Dwarven Digging team.
Where do we land on the Petrosian Cavalry? They weren't good enough, right?
They're good enough in this environment, yes.
Oh, because we're 66% Arthurian Legends.
Yeah, they're good enough for sure. Now, what do you think about Field Laborers? Pay 3, get 2 a turn. You want it to be right, but it's the cards that are the limiting factor in this format, not the money.
Is this just my Arthurian Legends filter being different? But I feel like Outback Strider is a card that never really appealed to me.
It's so good, though.
But it is so good.
Yeah, you look at some of these beta cards now, it's like,
so what? These are stonky.
Am I going to play the Wall of Brambles with these 2 Briar Patches?
Sounds right.
That sounds fun, right? Let's do that. We'll just make a little... We'll build the wall deck that you love so much.
I only got 1 multicolor card.
Do you like Tax Collector yet?
No. I like the idea.
You like the idea of collecting taxes?
Just the idea that that's a card that exists is funny to me.
Well, this is depressing. I got these great Earth sites and garbage.
Tweak's saying in the storytelling world, we call it enchantment versus disenchantment. It's not very romantic.
Thank you. That's the word that I usually come up with.
This is I use that word a lot. This is I think
you
this
steal
is
it from me.
We talk about the feeling and the culture. To me, card game creation, the art on the card games, all of that is an art. Like I view these games as more than products, and so when you're packaging it so directly as a product, as a price value product thing, it just hits different for me.
Yeah.
And it does. There's like that's what I think I went to the word purity, but there is like might be naive of me, but there's like a romanticism to it of it's just nostalgia, man. Trying to capture how it felt to be a kid buying this stuff. Imagine if, like, when we're playing Pokemon on Game Boy as kids, it's like, well, if you don't have the Pearl Edition, you can't ever see the legendary Pokemon show up in your thing.
Sure.
It's like, well, that sucks.
That does suck.
Because when I hit Moltres in the middle of a field one time, I lost my mind.
Yes, you did.
And then it's intense, and it's like, you want to get their health low so that you can catch them.
You brought that Master Ball, right?
Yeah, because you're not an idiot.
You gotta have Master Ball. I mean,
come on. We're getting that bird immediately. But like that is like, it would be similar. It's like, well, there's a $40 version of the Pokemon Red, and there's Pokemon Ruby. It's $250.
Yeah, and all the legendary Pokemon are easy to catch.
Yeah. Or that's just where they only show up.
Yeah, then you're right. You're right. It's yet another thing that's disconnecting a community.
Yeah,
maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, the haves and the have-nots. Right.
That's a noble way to put it.
When I was 9, getting a Pokemon pack, I had the same chance to get Charizard as anyone else buying a pack.
That's right.
Even though the guy buying 10 boxes was definitely going to get Charizard, and I was probably not.
But he was also keeping the game afloat more than you were.
Fine.
So, like, it's a good...
Yeah, and that's what the example I was going to give earlier is, like, let's say you have a super, like an indie publisher like Rise and Empire with Alpha Clash. It would hit different as well if they were like, hey, we're going to do a quarterly, like, Patreon charge, and there's going to be an Alt Art exclusive promo that you only get in this way. At least then it's like, this is a fancy thing that you can get and pay a lot of money for a single card that is helping a publisher be sustained. But when it's Asmodee, giant public crazy profitable corporation being like it's doubly losing the romanticism. Because this giant corporation, it's a Star Wars IP, which is another giant corporation getting fed from this move. And it's like, well, and it's okay. You're a company. Your whole goal is to make money. We know this. If you're buying an Asmodee product that's got Star Wars on it, you're feeding the giant corporations and all the people that work there. Don't get me wrong.
Less of them now.
And I know a lot of people that work there. And they're great people, and like they're producing a game that a lot of people love and is growing the hobby, et cetera, et cetera. But it is just very unromantic, and that's not why I'm here.
It is unromantic, isn't it?
If I wanted unromantic, I would just play video games.
Yeah, which are also, I think they also struggle with the same thing, the DLCs and the I'm just here to buy and sell skins. Do people do that? Is that a thing? Are they they're trying to NFTize the game skins? That's what everyone's stoked on NFTs for years. Know. You could have a sword and you get it in this game, but if it's a token on the chain, you can sell it and they can use it in the other game.
I'm glad we got to coins and NFTs. You wanted me to say some just ludicrous stuff. I'm a shorts machine today.
Yes, please.
I recently heard or I listened to / watched a YouTube video that finally explained why my discomfort with Bitcoin.
Oh, okay.
It actually finally, it's like, oh, there it is.
You should have just bought some and then you'd be like a billionaire right now.
I know. Stonk's going to the moon. Hold on tight with these diamond hands. No, the thing.
Stonk's going to moon. You nailed it, dude.
You
nailed it.
NFTs, digital currency, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the fundamental actual thing that's wrong for me. And it was so relieving because it's like this problem we have with the collector boxes and not really know how to explain it. I finally have a way to explain it.
Okay.
So the actual biggest problem is that the NFTs are worse, but Bitcoin or digital currency.
Yeah.
The people saying and telling me, hey, Bitcoin's going to be 200K by the end of next year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're right. It's like hypothetically, if we're just looking at Bitcoin as an investment, perhaps you're right.
Mm-hmm.
For that to be right, though, and part of why that might be right is that there's a finite amount of Bitcoin. For that to be right, more people have to be buying Bitcoin than are currently buying Bitcoins and holding them.
Right, it's classic.
So, one, it starts to feel like an MLM, which is if I own a Bitcoin, I'm like, yo, you got to buy Bitcoin. It's going to be worth more. And if I convince you, yes, it is, and you buy Bitcoin, then I win.
And you tell two friends.
That's right.
And then
they tell two friends, and then all of a sudden. But the other part of it is, it's literally called cryptocurrency. This is just currency. So it would be the same thing as me saying, hey, we need to buy euros because euros are going to be worth twice as much next year because euros are where it's at. And it's like, wait a second. Just as an individual, not even the concept of digital currency, I get it. I don't invest in currencies like at all because it's like,
well, that's your loss, man.
I'm just generally a person. If I was going to invest in anything, it's going to be assets. Like I want to buy stocks, or I want to buy a company, or I want to buy a piece of land that I'm going to use or rent,
or a
house, etc.
God's sake,
or whatever it is. And so I finally was just like, oh, I don't care if cryptocurrency can be worth twice as much as it is next year. Like if I had money to invest in something like this, it wouldn't go to a currency.
There are currency investors,
Oh, 100%.
That's their whole game.
But like, you're just betting that there's going to be more people using this currency, when technically, if you just buy anything like a stock, no matter what currency we're using to buy and sell that stock, it is an asset that is producing something and doing something.
Yeah, you're saying it's more universal even.
Instead of just like, even now, it's like you might bet on the US dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And like, having a certain amount of cash around is good, et cetera. But like, I'm not sitting here saying, I think, unfortunately, the US dollar is going to be worth a lot more in 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I just wouldn't organically do that. So I finally had to like, it ends the conversation.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just not going to bank on currency. I'm not a currency guy.
Excuse me, sir.
Let me get my monocle.
You know what's funny about it though is like if I invest in the euro, for instance, I'm essentially investing in the European economy / essentially I'm investing in the European economy, right? Yeah. The success of that ecosystem, making the currency more desirable. But there's really nothing that Bitcoin does that it's you're not investing in anything. Like if you invest in the American economy by buying dollars, or
you're investing in the idea of a digital, non-centralized or governmentally centralized currency.
That it will be the future way.
That
we
it
do
will be
money.
the future, and I think that's a fine bet to make.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a currency better.
Yeah, there you go. See,
Like, I'm
gonna
not
shut it down again.
It's even like going back to the collector packs, right? It's like it is just seemingly feels so overtly just about the gambling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We can
Like,
just say that, right?
But when you buy insert stock here, whether it's a private company or small company or big company, or you buy a piece of land, you buy whatever, it's like, one, it's an asset that does something in the meantime. Two, yeah, it might be worth more later. It might not, but you'll always own that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just there are currency investors, and if you believe it's going to go non-centralized digital, sure.
That is actually because currency has no inherent value.
No,
It's a means of exchange, whereas land or houses or anything else that's actual something
an asset
has value.
Yeah,
Even no matter what you could sell it for, you still have the thing in full.
that's right.
So if my 11 acres is worth $1, I can still walk around on them
Correct.
and camp.
Yeah, or if this Band of Thieves card,
It just like happens to be a curio randomly.
if it's worth $5 in 2 years or 5 cents, I still own Band of Thieves. Right?
You can still build a deck and play me.
And
with it.
the beauty of like owning, let's say a stock of a company, is that it is an asset that ideally produces upside year over year, not through its value going up, but through actually producing value.
Right, like the dividends.
And then profits come out, and then also you still own this thing at the end of the thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes that share is worth 10 times as much as you paid for it, and sometimes it's worth less. But
sometimes the company does go bankrupt.
Sure, but
And
that is just
you have no asset.
short circuiting the whole thing. Is like, I don't invest in currency.
I like the follow up of this because currency has no inherent value.
Yeah. What do you?
It's a value between two things. It's never the actual thing.
So there are people literally buying a currency to hold it, hoping that someday more people buy and use the currency,
so that they can buy what they want asset wise for less than they can now with dollars or
yeah. And
euros or
the
whatever.
belief would be that by buying the currency, you're going to have more upside than if you had just spent the currency you currently have on an asset.
Right.
Which, if you bought Bitcoin a year ago, would probably be true.
Yeah. It would be.
I digress.
For some amount of time at least. This sealed pool is absolute dog water.
Reset. Dump it. Get you a new one.
This is bordering on unplayable.
Didn't I predict this? Let's open packs and listen to Steven complain about a seal pool.
Look at this is the best that I have.
You got the Warhorse. Yeah, and a fine
Courser, yes, the
Courser.
Horsey deck. But what are they going to move around? Look at what I have in terms of threats. Just look for a second.
Well, I don't want to be uncomfortable.
Can you please
I'll look. Let me just
look at what you might be
Man.
scared to see hit the board?
Meanwhile, I'm on fire. Where's the biggest number? There's a 3. Those Saracen Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
There's another 3. Plume Pegasus.
Plume Pegasus is like my biggest body
Man,
in the pool.
you know what's crazy?
I do have one bear over here in Earthland. I'm gonna have to win this thing with foot soldiers.
In just my fire stack, I've got 3 4s.
I hate it.
And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 3s in fire.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Just built different,
I have a lot of good spells. Heat Ray, Minor Explosion, Burning Hands, Drop Shot, Blink, Arc Lightning, Magic Missiles, Cast into Exile. Maybe that's what the deck's supposed to be, like a little removal kind of deck, That's how you win, right? Is that how you win games?
Cardboard guide. Cryptocurrency talk was not on my bingo card. Here we are.
It's weirdly common. I've got a snowball over here. 2 helpful hobs, but they're not that helpful.
Tweak saying currency has malleable value.
That makes sense.
Frank saying there are different ways to measure value. The exchange value of oxygen is low, but its use value is high. You die without it. The exchange value of Bitcoin is high, but its use value is 0.
Yeah, I see that.
I once spawned a playthrough saying, I love the idea that you can stick a bear on a horse.
And then there's shapeshift. Shapeshift is more expensive than any of the creatures that I have that it could maybe turn into.
Good card, though.
Here, you want to borrow
In
it?
a vacuum.
Oh, Zach, what am I going to do here?
I'm just going to put the water.
Oh, I've got a Sir K. There we go.
Oh, he's back in business.
That's my body. Fire, earth, air.
Are you a 3-color guy?
Well, I only need, if I cut my Arc Lightning and my Cast and Exile, my 2 best spells. Let's not do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go 3 for sure. For sure. All right. Do you want a Sparkly Boy? Oh, you got one.
I'll definitely take one.
Another one?
This one's over.
Okay.
And I've got a lot more hot takes to share, so.
Oh, do you?
Gotta wet this palate.
We're almost done with the year here.
Yeah, any pending viewpoint needs to come out now, or it's never getting out there. This year.
What am I doing?
It's a question.
Are there any cards in? What if I just ran 2 Hamlets Ablaze? I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this.
Would you play the Grim Guy's Arm? Squeeze Arm?
It's a pole arm.
There it takes and deals double strike damage. I think that's reasonable. How many cards we got? 3. I have to play 24. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're good. We're on 2 colors today. That is what you want. Downtown Steven.
I guess if nothing else, Grimge's Arm gives you a sort of stealth removal. Like a little minion can trade up into a considerably bigger minion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like you just have a 2 or a 3 that can deal 6. We like that stock. So my favorite, I see people talking about various assets and stuff, but like ideally it would be something you actually do own, in my opinion, or that adds value to you in the meantime, instead of something you just sit on, because it just seems kind of like a waste. I don't know. Tweak, can I make a selfish request? Can you guys explain your decisions through the game a little bit more? There's still things about the game I'm not clear on. I will do my best. We kind of lock in sometimes, most of the time. And I honestly don't even remember that cameras are around. So I'll try. I will try. Danny Goodnight, is this your guys' holiday stream or you have more planned? So next week is the intended holiday stream, last stream of the year.
Do it, but you want peach? Is peach okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
I had a moment of clarity in the bathroom.
Did you not get you a drink?
I've still got one.
Oh.
I was just getting up to it.
Thanks. Bathroom clarity.
It's a cost to use thing. We talked about it, so I think that was a helpful analogy. The collector box, cost is high, use is low, value is trying to be high. So you've shifted the equation from this is the way to get cards to play with to this is the way to get something that's valuable. It's totally changed it. When I buy like a standard box, the primary value of that box is the playable, usable cards. And if I don't want to play and use the cards...
That's what I meant by like, a curio showing up in a crazy number, 1 in X number of boxes, is like a bonus, but not an expectation.
Yeah.
So most people aren't buying a box for Arthurian Legends thinking I'm going to get a gilded card or curio. But when you do, it's like, oh, that's really cool. And then, of course, if you are strictly a player and don't care about any of that kind of stuff, now like your ring, you just cash out and you now all the money you spend on these cards comes back.
Because it's not a clear line. There's not like a collector player. Not a lot of just I only collect, I only play. There's you like certain parts of the game a little more than others, but like I collected some spoils cards. I collect some sorcery cards. I've got them in my binder, but I also primarily play. But it has those kinds of things completely shift, and that's why the rip it and dip it people are the same. They're shifting the idea behind the purchase from usability to value.
And like the primary use.
Primary use is value.
So technically, if you buy 50 boxes of sorcery and you're a collector and you're just trying to get full foil playset or a curio or whatever, like that's actually a really inefficient way to get curios.
Yeah, but you do it because it's fun and because you want to collect. Like it's a hunt. It's a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, but I even think people that are after like the curio game, traditionally in card games, they are actually more, oh, this is currently selling for $600, like your foil ring. Mm-hmm. This is an $800 thing. I think if I buy this, I can sell it to someone else later because this is only going to go up when this is old and it's out of print and you can't get it and all this kind of stuff. So it existed forever. This has always been a thing.
Oh yeah.
But because the primary utility or use of this box is actually the cards you play with, like most of these cards on the table. It's like a side effect of the thing, not the reason that it's being done.
Yeah, exactly.
But with the collector box, when the primary utility is the fanciness and high value of the things that are hard to get.
Right.
It's just on the primary purpose attracts a certain person, and that's a very different community that's getting built in culture, and it is splitting because we're not even experiencing the same thing anymore. It's like, I don't know.
And there are the people that just want to fill the binder with the full collection. It's beautiful. Jesse did that, right?
I totally.
That's genuine collecting.
I totally get it because
not to sell the binder later, but just
to have it.
And look at it.
I was like a box and a half into Alpha before I read a single card, and that's not normal for me.
Yeah,
like I'm very heavy player.
You think about card text.
Yeah, it's like what does this do?
Etc.
I didn't even care. Like I was just oh my, this is amazing. Anyways,
Zach, I don't even. Have you looked at this?
I thought someone's username was Clappuccino. I used to say easy Clappuccino. That's the Prison Mike thing. I'm telling you, reset. We're here to have a good time. I don't want you to be complaining the whole time.
But although, that is a good time.
For me, it's very good.
That's a good time for me too.
For those at home, pretty good.
Tell me if you think anything in here is worth playing.
Blue.
Over.
Blue. Helpful Hob has a 4 on it.
Yeah, it's the only place it's got a 4.
Shapeshift's a good card.
In a vacuum, yes. It's funny that these are literally my best cards.
It's pretty bad.
Well, those are my bad cards. Check out, but this is what I think is the best that my deck has to offer. Tell me what you think about that. Give me a 5-word assessment. Can you write a haiku about it?
This is not very good.
That's 5 words. Nailed it. This is not very good. You know, if we run a sealed tournament, we should give everyone 1 mulligan.
Oh, a sealed mulligan?
Yeah.
I mean, that behooves the store.
Right?
It's like, hey, would you like to keep all these cards and buy 6 more packs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, but I like everyone getting 1.
You know what you could also do is you could, after round 1, anyone that lost, you could let them mulligan.
Yeah.
After round 2, anyone that has lost twice, they can mulligan. And you just, if you're at the 0 and whatever record every round, it's like, yeah, you can just try again.
Or even
that would take
better,
too much time.
I mean, if I was a store though, it's like every round, who wants a new 6 packs? You got to drop all your old ones, because then the people that want to be like, well, I don't know, I did pretty good. I don't want to like reset it.
I have seen
it'd be an all day affair, but
I remember seeing someone run a tournament that was literally every time you lose, you get a pack, and you add it to your pool, so that you're 4-0. You clearly don't need more packs.
Yeah.
But well, you want to add some packs?
Oh, look, this will empty the box, so that makes it okay.
Oh, if you redo your pool,
Just redo it.
It was our destiny, because we each didn't use 2 packs in our pool this time, so we had 4 extra. That makes sense.
I mean, I'm going to keep this built because there's a part of me that actually wants to try to make it work. But it would just be a. I don't know. I kind of do want to try to make it work, because how epic would that be? Water might be my best cards. All right, hold on. Let's hold on a second. Let's reconsider our lives a little bit. No, there's just not. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Let's reopen.
I have to have 24 cards.
24 cards, baby.
I have to cut some things. I have a good deck, I think. Although every time I have thought I've had a bad deck, it's actually been better than I thought. So maybe I have a bad deck.
Do you want me to rebuild?
Do you want to rebuild?
I don't know, man.
Does it spark joy?
I don't know. I know it's just gonna be like a slam dunkaroo, but also, what if I win? What if I pull it out with like cleverness?
It's always the appeal, right?
Yeah.
I believe in you, man.
But all these packs are here now, and now I'm staring at them. Maybe it's the Pendulum Apparel deck. Just what does it do? I mean, what does this deck even do? It removes stuff pretty well, I guess.
Ooh, do we have the... Let's see. Danny Goodnight feels fun either way. Making the best of a bad situation could be a nice puzzle.
Yeah, that's true.
It also has to even place constructed.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, after you're routing me at Gudnack so many weeks in a row, I have to get my hits somewhere.
You do. That's accurate.
Jonathan Woolley saying do it.
Do what?
Rinse, repeat, call it complete.
Build a new one or make it work?
Don't know.
I think we'll make it work. Let's get weird.
I think he's sending Tim Gunn thoughts at you. Designers make it work.
Huh? Okay, yeah. So this is not what we do. We don't play. I don't even know. Okay. Let's make it work. Let's make it work. Okay.
I applaud it.
Thanks.
Jonathan, be free, get a new deck, throw off the shackles.
Okay, so he's saying get a new deck. Well, he is our lead. He's the guy that makes these decisions, right?
Guru.
What is that? Can you throw up a poll? Can you see what chat wants?
Oh, there it is.
Should
That's the play.
I make it work?
Oh, I think they're in my office.
I guess I. Castle Haunt? I don't think so. Right? There's just no. There's no world where it's correct. Tax collector? Are you even good? No, you're not. Mobile. I mean, maybe this is when you start playing things like Entangled Terrain.
All right, I just started a poll for chat.
All right, thank you. Let's do it. Make it work or start over.
I guess we'll leave it open until Zach gets back and then see what chat has decided.
Here's the question.
Is this even a stream anymore?
I don't think so. It's just a
What are
crypto
we-
bro conversation.
What are we doing?
It's delirious. Let's see. I'm gonna click this make it work button. 73% making it work, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks overwhelmingly 76% as I'm looking at this wants you to make it work.
Okay.
Do you want to use spell slingers or sorcerers?
It's got to be spell slingers, right?
Well, we're using beta.
It's got to be spell slingers.
Well, if that's the case, do you have spell slingers?
Yeah, I've got one of. I've got a bunch of those kits somewhere.
Yeah, I have old sorcerer draft materials.
It's alright. I think we got them somewhere. I'll find them.
What do they even say? You have 4 in your starting hand, and that's basically it, right?
Yeah. But the accuracy on the board is important, you know. Plume Pegasus, literally my best character.
Experiments in Insanity has it absolutely correct. Don't worry about the chat, Steven.
Okay. Wait, what?
I predicted it. Did I not?
You have to admit that this is it.
It is garbage. I told you. I gave you my haiku.
Should I play this golden harp?
Is the only limitation... I don't know. Is the only limitation on a haiku being 5 words?
575.
5 words, 7 words, 5 words.
5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables.
5 syllables. So 5 words is wrong.
No, unless they're all 1 syllable words.
What was the sentence I came up with earlier?
This is not very good.
It's too many syllables.
Yeah, but it is 5 words. We started with 5 words, and then I said haiku, but you delivered 5 words. Haiku is a lot to come up with on the spot.
Sounds like a stream challenge to me. It's a haiku off.
Me playing water is not going to make this better, right? Are we sure? Yeah, because I've got like 5 helpful hobs and nothing to help. What are they going to help? What are they going to stand up my plumed Pegasus for a surprise 3?
Tweak, I hate your idea.
Pin on
No
my apparel
offense.
because all of my stuff's worse than yours, so it's good value.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Okay, make it 2 stacks. One is the good creature stack, playable creature stack. One is the non-playable creatures. The suspense is killing me. That's a good stack. That's a good first pass.
These are the worst ones
Okay, do the same thing with this
in
stack.
this format.
Man, the Germans love that red-breast robin. I saw it all over the sealed tables. It's just kind of a removal spell deck, isn't it?
These are my least favorites.
You like Entangle?
I like the ability to lock up a really powerful minion for 3 turns.
Yeah, so that would be equivalent to liking Entangle, given that it does that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Particularly, I feel like a lot of times by the time you're playing Entangle, you'll end the game by the time it's not around.
Yeah.
Or if
Great spell.
you're top decking, that just buys you a lot of.
We have 22 spells.
Tweak, I'm glad you laughed at me saying that I hated your idea.
22 spells. Okay.
It's not.
This is a fine.
Well, you didn't show me this heartbeat of the deck.
Can I summon that anywhere I want to? Where can you put artifacts? Do you know yet? Monuments? Can you put them on your side only? Or anywhere?
I think you can.
I can build a monument in your kingdom?
I don't know. I think it has to be on your location.
It's
Or
a
a location
Trojan
you
horse
control,
situation.
basically.
It's got to be, right? It's got to be.
Oh, Sean. Stephen perseveres. A wave of giants bears down. Classic sorcery.
At the end of each opponent, because all minions current in another adjacent location of that player's choice. Okay, well, this isn't right. There's no.
I was not serious. I was just making a joke.
All right, choose here. Help me choose 2 more cards here.
Mm-hmm.
What is life loss in this game? Is life loss the same as damage? It says strike damage and life loss. Is arc lightning either of those things? No, it's not.
I don't know.
It's just damage. It's not strike damage, but it's not life loss. I think witch is life loss, right? Lose 2 life?
Yes.
Dude, I'm gonna imagine if I just win.
How many cards here?
2. I need 2.
Those 2 for sure.
Wow. We're
Dude, it gives you nearby stuff burrowing.
we're on the dwarven
So
digging team.
They can't be buried or earthquaked.
Yep. Did you pull any of those?
I mean, you're asking your opponent for recommendations.
Okay.
Steven, I think the harp would also maybe apply to like lightning bolts or minor explosions.
Does it
Life
though?
loss? I don't know. I don't know for
that's,
sure, but
that's damage.
that's what life loss to me says. But
I think there
Well,
are
I'm not
cards.
sure.
I think there are cards that literally say lose X life. not
Yeah,
deal
'cause
3 damage.
Major explosion says deal damage.
Yeah. Sean's in the chat. He would know, right?
But maybe your avatar loses life.
When it gets hit by sight damage. Sight damage causes your avatar to lose life. I know that. Which means it reduces any life I lose by sight damage by 2, right?
That's insane if so.
Is
That
that-
can't be the how it works.
That's true. Yeah, let's put it in and find out.
Slap it on your avatar and then just -2 to all damage instances.
Yeah.
That would make that harp goated.
I honestly think I need the digging team.
Life
over
loss
this
is
here, right?
also caused by side attacks. So if a minion attacks your site near the harp, it hurts less. But that near the harp.
It's not reducing the life loss of the nearby avatar unit.
That's right.
No, that's not true.
Read it. It says
No.
life loss caused by nearby units.
Oh, caused by. Let's
Okay.
put it in.
Yeah.
Find out what happens.
Rip it and ship it, man.
Rip it, ship it. We're
Flip
gonna
it,
hit
dip
some
it.
big hits.
That would be pretty good on Avatar of Earth, though. You grapple shot across the board, you're getting in there, and now all the damage back to you is -2.
His strike damage though is -2 as well when he puts it on. Everything is -2. Yours and theirs.
Ooh, not as good. Not as good.
Should we not play it? Do we have to play it?
You don't have to do nothing.
Isn't the Saracen Scout better than the Golden Harp?
Yes.
Pendulum Apparel, not today, buddy. Not today. All it does is lock down a part of the board where nobody can play anything.
I mean, that's not. If you had a deck that needed setup because you have big stuff in it,
Yeah.
that would make some sense because you could like lock down the primary lane. You know what I mean?
I do. Yes.
Like if it's in this spot and you play it, it's like this is not good, so they have to go around.
I do know what you mean. Yeah.
That is not your deck.
Okay. So we've got some stuff here. We've got 2 fire, 2 air, and 5 earth sites that are good. I think I'm gonna play all 5 of these. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're gonna do 4 on one and 3 on another. What are my big ones? 1 air is totally acceptable here.
Here's a
1 air is totally acceptable.
what do I used to call the questions that I asked on stream? Remember? Question of the day. Question of the day.
Quad.
Quad. It's like, what is, man, it's getting hazy back there in 2021, 2022 land.
Mm-hmm.
Question of the day. For if you're watching this later, leave a comment. If you're watching it live, leave a comment. If you could see any, if you could see any card game featured on stream or other content we make, what game would you pick? And you can't name Sorcery because this is a Sorcery video, so I feel like that's unfair. Anything. Just putting this in the idea tank for next year, you know?
There was.
I know. I think Jonathan.
Did he clean them up?
Maybe.
I mean, that would be really nice. Well, I'm gonna see if they're in my.
Also, I saw John's name earlier.
He's on the stream.
Should be. You're supposed to be working out there.
Yeah, that's a lot of people watching.
Next, Larry's going to leave a comment. Supposed to be programming. I can see Nick. Clapping Cardboard. Middle Earth CCG. You would love that game. It's a card game designed by role-playing game designers.
Oh, okay.
And it's Lord of the Rings. It's all traditional hand-painted art. And
Yeah, you're talking my language now.
there's a map. And you do not play. It's not a normal card game. You should just watch one of our Miller streams. I think you would.
Middle Earth CCG.
You would dig that, yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Obsidian and Adam, SWCCG, Star Wars CCG. Don't make them like that anymore, do they? Danny Goodnight, the Godzilla card game. Obsidian, the Digimon card game. Corlash really wants to see Alien versus Predator or Terminator. Terrence says, I want to see you grind some standard card games like Cribbage or Hearts.
Jonathan with Boy Crazy.
Jello Shots saying .hack enemy. Mostly a joke, but it's been a fun rediscovery with a friend. I have boxes of that. I feel like we did play that on stream at some point. Jonathan saying Boy Crazy. We do have that box right over there. That'll be some point. That's some point soon. Cat Great. I guess my new dream content is Zach opening collector packs of Magic the Gathering and losing his mind.
Get those collector boosters going, bruh.
That's not likely.
Bruh.
But the real answer to my question of the day from Cat Great is Star Wars LCG. Steven's favorite.
You have not. I'm. What's funny is that my persona in real life. Well, I guess I don't really know this.
Frank's saying Netrunner.
I think my persona in real life. I don't actually complain hardly at all about anything.
But you unload on me on stream.
But I kind of like that as my stream persona.
Yeah.
Little crotchety weirdo. There's the stack of stuff.
That's definitely only your stream persona. Oh, man. I'll give him the shiny one. I know how he likes collectible things. All right, let's see. 3, 4, 6. Where'd you get this?
Isn't a sack of stuff that I got from Sorcery Fund?
A sack?
Are you missing stuff?
There's 4 fire sites.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, I have. Yeah, he's gone. All right, let's see if we got some more answers. Netrunner Frank. Yeah, well, Netrunner is always going to be around, isn't it? Tweak saying Eve, the second Genesis. Never heard of that one. I don't think I've heard of that one. The Soundy, Netrunner Game of Thrones second edition.
As unwatchable as this stream ultimately is.
Hey, there's at least a person watching.
It really is the best at emulating what a game night is actually like.
Like if you came and we were hanging out playing games with us.
Yeah, it's like you get one game in 3 hours, and most of it is one person looking for stuff.
That time we streamed resorting our Ashes collection, I almost died. Oh man, I was on the verge of just tossing it all, man. We were close.
It was tough. Yeah, it was tough for you.
It almost broke me.
I was fine.
Yeah, in that case, you were enjoying my suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is perfect. Where do you keep finding these?
I did. You wouldn't believe how many of those I've got.
Just got a warehouse of them back there or something?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I just go. All right, fire. Okay, so we need to get 2 fire sites at some point. Is that our goal? What do we even need those for? We have.
Oh, there he is, Larry. Live coding stream where I alternate between programming and dumping cups of water on the floor. Good at both. Put that on the resume. Jello Shot saying wow TCG. Terrence saying poker. Run the poker game as a charity event. Everyone chip in a few bucks. It goes to charity at the winner's choice. Frank. The infamous water cup in Zach's attic.
Frank's the best.
The old Zadok.
This definitely does take me back to like my high school D&D days where, Friday night after school, people come over to somebody's house. You maybe start trying to play a game at 4 o'clock.
You're building
You
characters.
actually start at 9 or 10 at night.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it, That sitting around building characters is like the whole game. It's so fun. It's potential energy, just tons of potential energy.
I've definitely spent more time building RPG characters than playing them.
Yeah.
As is traditional.
Yeah, pretty standard. Okay, hey, can you sleeve those bad boys up? Don't look at them too close.
You mean the piles of cards you had me sorting earlier into the good ones and the bad ones?
Hey, man.
You know me. I couldn't tell you almost anything in the stack.
Aren't these fancy sleeves that we had for some reason? No, they're just Ultra Pros. Okay. Why do I have Ultra Pro sleeves sitting around here? I haven't thought about Ultra Pro in 1,000 years.
Couldn't tell you, man.
Are you working on the sponsorship? Where? Speaking of, you know what's fun? They got me back. Nalgene. They beat out Clean Canteen in the promotion wars.
How'd they get you back?
$4,000 check.
What?
Yeah, they cut me a check for $4,000 to mention Nalgene instead
I see.
of Clean Canteen.
I see.
For a moment, Zach was genuinely interested in what I was talking about. $4,000.
And then we all remembered why he pays no attention to what Steven's saying.
Anyway, water your brain, water your life.
Why were they giving you $4,000? I'm just kidding.
Our sponsorship.
Just like refuse to get the point.
Did they not send you the money as well? I thought they said you were going to get it as well.
Yeah, apparently the checks went directly to you.
They said they were only going to send money to somebody who was good at selling their product.
They might have heard about all the loose water going around.
Yeah, they saw Zach dump liquids into his valuable electronics enough times to say, this is not our spokesperson.
In fact, he's now getting charged every time he does it.
Okay, and we're not playing Overbearing Bailiff, right? Because it's entirely an unplayable card. Right? That's the reason, primarily?
I don't know if entirely unplayable is accurate.
+7 in my back row. It would be annoying.
I mean,
He's a good defender.
at the end of the game, next to your avatar, it makes it pretty annoying.
Uh-huh.
Lightning Bolt doesn't kill him. I mean, it's like very few things can actually punch through that guy.
Should I play him?
No.
But he doesn't advance my game plan whatsoever. He doesn't win a game of sorcery, does he?
Who did that art?
Unless I was on a total, like a stall deck. Aussie Haikala.
I like the light in that art.
Haikala? Okay. So how long did that take? About 2 hours?
Yeah, thereabouts. But you were trying to rile me up early on.
Yeah, I did a pretty good job, I think.
So we draw 4 spells. Even Steven?
I just can't. I'm at the older, wiser phase of the cycle,
Oh, really?
and so I just observe the the stuff that comes out on the interwebs that is clearly lacking perspective, and alarmist and that kind of stuff. And then you just wait around and you're like, oh, that'll pass, and then this next phase will happen, and then the next phase happens, and then
You have enough perspective to understand.
I just feel like that's my thing with this with the little reprint bump thing.
My thing about it is I have a 4-month-old at home.
Yeah.
Or 5-month-old.
Yeah.
So ain't nobody got time for that.
95% of sorcery. How many sorcery players
Now we're cooking.
don't ever check a Discord or a Facebook?
I'm gonna guess 70%.
You think 70% of the player base is not tuned in to the Discord or the Facebook group?
I think it's probably 70-80% for games that are like way less casual / kitchen table than sorcery. So like very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Even with something like Fab, which is like peak competitive to me. I'm gonna guess most people don't actually routinely check Discord or Facebook. It's at least 51%.
Okay. What do you guys think?
Just holding that slightly towards the lamp. Where it's kind of a
Towards
little bit of that
the lamp.
last row.
I see.
There we go. I think that's perfect.
Yeah. Look at that.
Money.
Money in the bank.
60 to 70% from Danny Goodnight. He seems like a smart fella. Jealous. They have a Discord or Facebook group.
Perfect.
I only tune in live to Covenant every Wednesday. That's the sole thing that I do on the internet. I'm speaking as like a ideal.
I definitely think like YouTube and or social media people, like there's different pockets. A lot of people just use YouTube or video content. A lot of people use social. A lot of people use none of that.
Yeah, and YouTube. I mean, you don't use YouTube. YouTube is just a platform of video content. It's not like you don't check on your grandma.
Be awesome.
Unless she's posting YouTube videos.
That'd
I
be
guess.
sick. If either of your parents had a YouTube channel, I think I would routinely check it.
Dad would do a hilarious YouTube channel, but it would mainly be him like trying to figure out how to press play. Okay, what do we have? Well, okay. Here, you know what?
Here's the point. Frank, did you see his comment?
No.
Don't think I've ever looked at the official Discord, and I've never bothered to set up a Facebook account.
Boom. Here, okay. Let's talk theory. I have 3 fire sites in here. Don't look at these cards too closely, really. These are my only 2, I believe, except for the night guy. these are my only two threshold cards. I could just pitch them and know that I've got no reason to get more than one fire. Or I could keep them, try to get the second fire, and know that I can play a minor explosion or pukas. Both are pretty good early. What would you do?
What else is going on?
Hey, man. Hey. A spell and a spell. This is going.
Yeah, definitely. And you only get 3 to mulligan.
Yeah.
So,
like, if I just mulligan all this, I got Burning Hands I can play from the start. I've got 2 Foot Soldiers. And then I hope we don't draw air cards.
seems fine.
Yeah. Let's do that. Pitch him and rip him, and let's just see what we get on the mulligan. So
Pitch him and rip him.
So we know what we're... All right. Great. So far. Excellent. And love it.
3 air cards. Woo! Oh, I rolled and I'm going first. So let's just see how this goes.
You couldn't even stack a deck to be that funny.
It's so good.
You know, you think you got to produce a video, and then the universe just...
I feel like we need one of those shorts that's like, you said that, and then it's moments later.
Moments later.
Moments later.
Oh, we can make that happen.
Are they still... Is Instagram and all that, TikToks and stuff, are they still using that terrible voice? That robotic, terrible voice?
Yeah.
Why?
1 in 3 parents. Not talking. Say.
Why are they doing that?
Let's see. It's just, I don't know, automated stuff being generated and posted and hashtagged and
Just didn't want to change it, I guess.
Riz and stuff.
Being Riz. Thank you, Zach.
All right, I'm going first.
Uh-huh.
Do I draw a card on the first turn?
No.
I,
No, there's no card
Listen.
on the first turn, dude.
we've been playing Gudnak where you do, Alpha Clash where you don't,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't played Sorcery in like a month.
So you don't.
And I don't know. I maybe never knew the rule. I just ask my opponent every time. All right, we're going to skip it.
Don't draw and then play a site.
All right.
You know, you remember how to play a site with your avatar? You tap it
I'm gonna
and...
tap.
Yeah.
But an Alpha Clash is not tapping. Legally distinct.
Hey, sure enough, Eric hadn't gotten sued yet. So I guess you can use the word tap, right?
I'm going to play a Wasteland. Because everyone in the universe knew I was playing fire.
Anything else, sir?
Over to you.
All right, let's draw a site. Because we need that air site. We did not get it, but we did get our second fire site. Excellent.
Tweak saying, I live in a small town with no game store. I just would never use what happens in Discord, but I'm in there. I listen to the live stream while I'm working, though.
Now, wait a minute. We're all little foot soldiers.
Oh, I got you.
Okay. All right, over to you.
Now I do draw.
Doodra. Doodra.
Doodra. Let's draw from main deck. Okay. We're on curve tonight. I'll tap. And play Wasteland. Pass to you.
Okay.
Mono red seal deck.
All right, let's try to find an air site. Ah, we got it.
Carver guide saying Discord's pretty useful for sorcery, especially finding other players, getting news out about events and tournaments. I don't think Discord's useful. I just think the vast majority of people engaging with this might be true of most card games, have a group of people they play with and don't really have a need to engage in those areas. And you have people to play with. What you doing on Facebook?
Question marks. Let's go.
Sophie, I have a question for you. How many Fire Squire Curios are tracked so far? Did you know she tracks every curio that gets opened?
You know, I did know that. In my heart of hearts, yes. I did know that. Okay. We've seen 2 wastelands. Did you draw any deserts? You know, you have the old classic. Do you put the footy up top or not? You put the footy in the middle or not?
Yeah. I mean, with the 2 beta packs,
Maybe
it's
one.
way less likely now that they exist.
And you've already played 2 fire, so it's likely that you had to fill the void. You mulliganed maybe. Huh. Because it's a real question, man. It's a real big question. Okay. Let's assume yes. Yes. Let's play this fire site and let's generate a lance token for 1. You got Data Lance token here.
I don't know if I have Lance tokens. This is my old token stack.
Is Jonathan in the chat? Can you tell him where did he put all this stuff?
Do you want a frog?
Wait, I have all that stuff. Hold on a second.
So if you're saying 10 so far.
Wait, 10 of how many?
The Fire Squire Curio. Period. I have a 10% stake in the Fire Squire stonks.
It stonks.
I'm actually very nervous because I know myself to open either a second Fire Squire or a different Fire Squire Curio or a different Squire Curio, because if I had 2 fire or two of the different elements, I would then be halfway to a place like a set of either a play set of 4 Fire Squire or a set of the squires. And I know that my like collector bird brain could almost not resist finishing that.
You should construct it.
You know what I want to do? There's just so many things we want to do, man. Here's what I want to do. I want to do a best of like 3 series. Arthurian Legends only constructed.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's like King. You lose with a deck that gets eliminated.
I can build some decks while I'm watching Piper. Boom. We're going to move and pick it up. Footy with a lance. Coming at you. This is my strongest, literally my biggest threat in the entire deck right there.
And Lance is on offense?
Yeah.
Or does
No, it's all the time. But your first strike on offense. Is that right? No, it's first strike always. Bearer's next strike deals +1 and strikes first.
So even if I attacked you.
That's right.
Oh, you moved the guy up there. I see. I was like, how did you get a foot so? I see. Over to me?
Yeah.
Ooh. Now I got to draw sight. Let's see if we get it. Dang it.
Yeah. Who's laughing now? I'm winning the game. Ooh, Lord of the Rings LCG. That's a weird one from Brad. Haven't heard that one in a while.
That's a good one. An oldie but a goodie. Well,
That game was not afraid of passive stacks.
no.
Dwarves get +1, and Legolas gets +2 if Gimli, and so it's like the Lord of the Rings TCG in that way.
Spire. Yeah. Like a complicated math equation that you have to remember.
My footy's safe.
The art on these generic locations is... They went ham.
It tells you everything you need to know about the game.
Yeah, it's like this basic location that does nothing but is only played in limited. Some of the best art.
Don't you love that though?
I do. No,
now everyone just spends their good art on the highest value cards.
I'm telling you. But I said use the word romantic earlier.
I know.
There's a romanticism to it.
There is.
It's like, you're really trying to sweep me off my feet here. Let's play some puka. Speaking off your feet.
Oh, luckily all my random cards are bad.
Yeah. Great.
I'll do that. Each opponent discards a random card.
Over to you.
That's
Any good night. Are you guys going to try Hub World soon?
Yeah.
I'm going to be real honest. Already tried it. When Andrew was here like a month and a half ago, definitely tried it. For sure.
I'm going to draw this card.
Eyes are wide open on that one. More to come later.
We do what, a random card? Is that right?
Soundy saying Warhammer Conquest. That was a game, man. Let me tell you.
That was a game.
That may have been peak Eric Lang card game design.
Yeah, it was.
Like he was at his most refined in the card game space at that point. There were badly developed cards that came out later, but that wasn't his fault.
I agree with that.
Whatever that thing that came in and killed and then you win the game is.
The Kaivax War Leader, Climax
and
War Leader.
Also, there's one of attachments in the War Leader
Complete waste of time.
thing. The War. What was your main character called? Warlord? No, it's not Warlord. You know what I'm talking about? What was it called in that game?
Was it your War Leader?
Your general? Yeah.
Commander?
There's a word for it.
Who did I play? I played the Marine guy.
But there was the one of attachment in every deck, and some of those decks it was like if you get it and your opponent doesn't get theirs, you just win.
That Nurgle one, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I care least about? I'm also going to play an Airsight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pay 3 to play a plumed Pegasus.
Well, hello.
And then I'm going to swing in here and drop my lance.
Yeah.
And you get a random. This is the beauty of your deck being bad, is that
I'm not going to look, so I can't see the color.
you're looking on. You looked on stream. Look at you on the monitor.
No, I can't even see. You can't see it. Like, hold your hand of cards up and see if I can see it on the thing. Work. There's nothing over there.
Can you feel the difference in the sleeves?
No, I don't. What am I looking for? Which one's in which one? That's a good card, though.
It is a good card. You did well.
All right. Over to me.
Yeah. Like, you got to get that guy off the board before you have good cards in your hand, right? I don't know. Maybe I should have dropped the lance.
Now, I can't punch airborne.
That's right.
From the ground.
That's right.
I've got the Alpha Clash.
You can block, though. You can always block airborne.
Like, it's been downloaded into my brain, you know?
Yeah.
There's like flight and there's intercept and there's not.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know. None of. This one is in the air. You can't hit it while it's in the air, but if it attacks a side, it has to come to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to the ground, you can swing at it.
Okay. Well, I may as well.
Conquest is a great system. Why don't people just use it for stuff? Here's what I don't understand. Why do people recycle like the not great systems over and over and over again? I won't name any names, but like there are games that are all very similar,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody's sniping Conquest. Put things at locations in the middle of the table.
I don't have a good answer.
Fight
for
them,
to be honest.
If you control the stuff, get benefits. Resource control.
Look to see who would benefit.
Area control. You know, the board gamers will love it.
I've got an interesting choice. Oh, you know what? That's actually very good.
Dude, look at Alan coming in here. Missed the the beginning of this conversation.
Yep.
You're over here talking about how beautiful the art on a basic side is, and Alan's it's just a different world.
Yeah.
Just coming in from a different world. Using two terms that I like, pump and dump. Probably using ripping and hitting as well, if I was guessing.
Well, let's inquiring minds.
Inquire.
Alan, the Kraken. We had a lot of conversation earlier that I don't know if you were privy to, but I'm curious. Do you play the game? Let's just start with a simple one. Do you play the game?
Yeah, it's a good question.
All right, I'm playing a location. Let's just get that on the table. I'm going to play a beacon. I gain a resource for each nearby site with an enemy atop it, so I gain one.
At the moment, yeah. Got it.
It's just when I play it, so it just happens.
Oh, just when you play it?
Yeah, it's a big.
And it's also resource, you know, 5.
I'm going to play some Vikings here.
That's it.
Over to you.
That's all you're doing.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Let's see. Did Alan answer? Nerd and proud of it. Yo, what's up? It's sorcery time. Jealous Shot's saying, isn't that what sorcery or Star Wars CCG did? What do you mean that?
The kind of conquest style system, maybe? Okay, let's draw a card.
Shochi. I haven't seen your name in a while. Used to love Battletech CCG back in the day. Alan's saying I have played. Taboo Contract as well, another grid-based TCG. Taboo Contract, I've never heard of that one.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. We should try that out too. I can only try the old Guardians. We got it right there.
Dude, I got that Scratch and Sniff game in the other day too. Remember that one you linked me?
Look at these bad boys.
It's not really a Scratch and Sniff, but it's a scratcher. You saw
yes.
it?
No, it's so good. It's like straight from my childhood. It's crazy.
So you were like, hey, you should maybe buy this for a future stream. And so I was like, I went and I clicked it. It's like, well, it's a pretty good price. I don't know what this is. But it's a pretty good price. And there's only 4 of them available. So I just bought 4 boxes just in case we need. They're scratchable. So I figured they're.
You don't sniff them though.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because 30 years later, I'm sure they smell just like bubble gum. So.
Yeah, Alan. So spell us out your
And why is it no longer collectible? I'm genuinely asking.
Or what does a pump and dump means that you you get people like to buy it and then you make a bunch of product?
Yeah, so it would be like
I've heard that in relation to like coins and stuff.
the pump and dump would be like let's say this is not what happened in my opinion. However, Fab, when it was going crazy, you print a low amount of products, it sells out, you make it seem really rare. You're not telling anybody if you're doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So then people spend a lot of money on like alpha, and then later you're like, oh, we're gonna do alpha unlimited, and we're gonna reprint it strictly.
Mm-hmm.
And so people bought into it thinking that there wouldn't be more of it,
Mm-hmm.
and so that there's scarcity, and then there actually was. Similar, like,
is that the dump?
Well, pump and dump would be like, I don't know if you saw.
What's the pump and what's the dump?
So recently, are you familiar with the Haktua girl?
Yes.
So she launched a coin.
Yes, I know about that.
But
with
like
the Paul brothers,
80% of the coins at launch were owned by a single account, owning most of the supply. Price went like really high, and then sold off all these things. And it's like speculation is it was either her or someone in the project owned all the coins and like weren't honest about it.
Mm.
So then there were people trying to buy it, and it kept going up because there wasn't supply. But then they just like dumped all the coins as it was going up. It's a really strange thing, but I don't know. What makes it pump and dump? Let's just get that out there. Alan saying Eric Shearer said in April that the beta reprint was limited. Was it not?
I think it was limited.
We know now it's not limited, and they will reprint at will.
Okay, so basically the argument is limited, meaning this was the only time it would be reprinted, not there's a small reprint.
Yeah, I definitely read it as there's a small reprint.
Yeah, I could say that.
And there seemingly was.
Yeah, I do think that there's a lot of confusion as to what a beta reprint would look like.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm fairly confident that they were intentionally non-committal on the status of reprints. Given it was the first set, they had no idea how much supply was needed, what demand would actually look like, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, I've got news for you. Let's go. Boom. Let's play here.
So Alan's saying the limited piece was the pump. Then the dump is the inner circle is selling off while saying they believe in the game.
Oh, the dump is something I'm not familiar with.
Are you saying Eric Curiosa was pumping and dumping, or are you saying that a lot of other people were pumping and dumping?
So that would mean that the Eric's Curiosa team had a bunch of beta boxes. They did the limited reprint. And then once the limited reprint, but the limited reprint is still not sold out, right? Is it? You can get beta. What's the price of beta right now? What's the dump? They would have to, if you were going to dump beta, you would have dumped all your beta boxes before the reprint in the summer.
If you wanted to be action nefarious and you were a publisher and you wanted to pump and dump, what you should really do is reprint alpha. Don't reprint it, but reprint it for yourself.
Right.
And sell it for $1,000+ a box infinitely
on eBay
until people stop buying it.
Yeah,
like that. Or you could print products, send it to distribution, make 40% of MSRP. That's the weird, like it was almost like when Monarch for Fab was pre-selling for $500 a box. It's like, well, Legend Story Studios still only making $40 a box.
Right.
So, but
right. They should print them and sell them on Amazon like Magic does.
Sophie's saying they did say that they reserve the right to reprint if needed since they couldn't predict the demand or play growth.
Yeah. Anyway, Zach, check this hot move out. Are you ready? Are you actually ready for this?
I don't think you're ready for this, Billy.
I'm gonna swing 2 for 1.
I'll cancel it. Yeah, we die. You die. I take 1.
Oh, right.
Or you just want to swing at the land.
Yeah,
That's what you swing at the land.
Yeah, I do swing at the land, but I'm going to do something else. Maybe do something else here. All right, let's see this. You've shown me how my plans are a failure. Give me a little footy, if you would, please. I'm going to make a little footy here.
Alan, I'm honestly not following how Eric's Curios is the pumper and dumper in that story.
Okay.
I do understand how Metazoo was.
We got a foot soldier. We blink it for 2. This thing. Cool with that?
Yeah.
Draw a card. Okay. And then we go Pegasus here for 3. Foot soldier here for 1 to the side. And then we pay 1 for Will-O-the-Wisp. Right there.
I love this card, particularly because I love this art. Vasily. The Wills of the Wisp. So hot right now.
It's good. Yeah, it's really good.
Mine?
Yeah.
Now, this thing is airborne and it's exhausted, but I still cannot attack it. Right?
That's right. What do you got? Some kind of charge business? Lance charge, warhorse? What you doing?
It's better if we don't think about it. Truthfully.
Alan's saying collectibles are a finite supply of Bedlam goods. I mean, the reality is you could reprint TCG a lot and it's still finite. It's a physical object, right? There's not an infinite amount of anything. But that's not really a great argument. So by that measure, you should print 1 booster box and then go to the next set. It's always a number.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I will say it's not super common for a TCG to reprint a set, but it's also not unheard of. Like,
especially the first set. We'll see if they reprint Arthurian.
But Pokemon does this all the time.
They go one further. They put the most valuable cards in the precons next time around.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially.
Is that Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah. Pokemon can do that, but yeah.
Alan's saying when you overprint past demand, which they clearly have, they transition to a toy. See, what I think is fascinating about this whole thing is that you have to put demand over a 9 to 10 month curve here. Like, this is Tindy Town thinking. This is like short-term flippy thinking of however many people want it the moment that it releases. Yeah. You have to hit that number minus 1%. You're not accounting for the fact that over the next 9 months, more people are going to buy these kinds of things. And so if you don't want reprints to happen, you have to print a ton up front to account for the fact that you're not going to have more supply ever until the next set gets more cards into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So, like, talk to me in 9 months and let's see where beta is at. How about that? Let's make a deal. I'll make a deal with you.
What's the deal?
9 months from now, let's see if beta was overprinted.
Okay.
9 months. So beta boxes are $100, $90, $80 on TCG Player. In 9 months, then I will say Sorcery has overprinted beta.
So you're saying mark me.
Mark me. 9 months. What is that?
How about don't
when
say
the
9
next set
months.
Releases.
There it is.
There,
that's
easy.
a very easy. We can just look at the prices and see.
Okay. So when the next set releases, a beta's plummeted.
Yeah.
And same for Arthurian. If Arthurian's plummeted, beta's plummeted, then we'll know.
Yeah.
What's overprinted is when you look at like Fab and like, what is it? Monarch's still like $60 first edition. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that is a catastrophe
We'll
for
never
our
sell
reasons.
it.
Yeah. Okay. I have questions, but we'll come back to that in a second. I'm gonna tap here. We're gonna play a forge, and I will forge a lance token. Can you pass me a lance?
I can pass you a lance, buddy.
It's right there. No, it goes right there.
Oh, it goes here. I'm gonna pick that up.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna play. Now here, if I Vikings into this location,
I defend and blink and nullify it.
But does that really work?
Yeah, it makes me the target of the attack. That's the whole point of the card.
Okay. I thought you could just like. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna tap and do 2 damage to everything here.
Nice.
I'm gonna pay 4 for Trojan Cavalry. Just gonna pick this up. We're gonna swing here for 3.
You got it. 17.
And pass to you.
Coming out. Okay. You like it?
Well, Alan, there's a problem with your argument here, or logic. How many TCGs survive reprints? He says 98% of the time they die. Well, in my experience, all card games have died that are not Pokemon, Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh! So
Draw a spell.
maybe it is reprints, but maybe it's
Maybe
not.
they just die.
And, I think if it's a CCG or TCG, trading card game, which it is, Sorcery TCG, trading card game.
Trading card game.
In that title, collectible is not there.
That's
Worth
true.
Pointing out.
That's technically
But
true,
card
yeah.
game is.
Yeah.
And so is trading. It's hard to trade if you don't have cards. It's hard to play a game if you don't have cards. So if you were strictly in for the collectability purposes, that's interesting. But two, to me, like when people frame it as this is just a pump and dump, I think the X-Curiosa team is interested in creating this tabletop gaming experience and giving people access to it. And when you're printing your first set for the first time, and you're printing one set a year, and you're doing everything not by the book, and they couched it seemingly from what Sophie said. I haven't been documenting the words coming out of everything they do, but I never had the impression that they were unwilling to reprint. Even the fact they did a reprint. And they said it was a limited reprint. But even then, it didn't feel like this is a closed book on possibly doing this. I think it's very smart to, instead of the reprint being gigantic and like we've seen that happen before too.
Oh, I've seen it, yeah.
Smaller reprints that they delicately place in different regions based on demand and supply and activity and game and stuff and whatnot. To me, if beta boxes in the first year or two are over $200 a box, I see that as a negative. Like I would rather them reprint to keep it available for at least until we get a couple years in, or there's at least a set or two on the market. So
there's a ready element here too. Okay. I'm gonna draw a site. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Boom, boom, boom. Right, Zachary. I'm gonna swing at you for 3.
Take
and
it.
1.
Take it.
And then I'm gonna cast magic missiles here. Do 3.
He cancels it.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. You can have your cavalry. I'll take this lance token.
But I was going to use the lance token on you. You got to get there.
And then I'll pass the turn.
All right, I get one chance here. One shot. Well, hello there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Chat. The Alan's comment there?
Yeah.
SCG survived because it was fun. Yeah, I think we're just coming at it from different perspectives. I probably just wholesale disagree with that statement, but
Yeah.
What a difficult thing to prove. I mean, it's an easy statement to make because you can't prove it or disprove it. It's unfalsifiable.
Yeah,
That's what we call that in the business act.
What I can
That's Karl
say,
Popper about that one.
here's what I can prove. The games that have survived longer than a decade, and there's probably a couple other little exceptions to this, but Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Are the games.
Yeah.
I think it has absolutely everything to do with the size of the community they built. Partially, like Magic being first, Pokemon being a worldwide phenomenon, IP, etc. And to the degree Yu-Gi-Oh! Same thing. Like right now, I think Magic continues being successful partially because of the momentum.
Right.
And the resources and the success, and like they have the audience and you can play Friday Night Magic anywhere. It's not about which game is the most fun, which game is the best game, which game is the best supported, which game has the best products, which game, any of that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think Magic got big because it was fun.
yeah,
I think I would be willing to go out on a limb and say before all of this garbage about box prices and investments and pump and dumps and oh my god, supply and demand and reprints and this way of thinking about the hobby, I think Magic was really fun, and that's why people kept buying the packs.
Yeah,
and playing it.
And then giant audience gets built, and
Right.
then it's unstoppable.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah.
But then
Strikes and
they
got a strike
matured
first.
into whatever this is.
Okay. Read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Don't box me in, man.
Don't box me in. I'm gonna play Fire Squire. Lance token.
He's got lances in different area codes.
Lance in charge. Lance in charge. He's gonna swing at this location.
You got it
for
one.
1, and we're gonna pick up this Lance token.
Okay.
It's just let's go a little further each time.
Keep going. Run him down the infield.
This cat is gonna attempt to strike here.
Yeah, we'll give you a foot soldier.
Yeah, we both knew that was happening. I'll pass to you.
Okay. Okay. Okie dokie.
The soundy. This is a perspective I like. Smaller reprints are the way to go. Sorcery is fun and fresh, and actually wish more people playing it in my region, which goes to show they need to print more. Once upon a playthrough saying Viking is so good in a limited format.
It's really good, yeah. It's really good.
I feel like he's really, really problematic when he's on your side of the board too, like this, actually. We'll see. I'm behind right now.
This is not where I want to be with my Briar Patch. I'll tell you that right now.
Over here in the corner. I feel like I hear you like having 6 maximum locations in play.
Okay. I get it. I can be... No, we can't do it that way. We just can't do it that way. You could get 3 free damage in, I suppose.
Joshua, these are sealed pools. So we did 4 packs of Arthurian Legends and 2 packs of Beta.
Okay. Sure. Let's go here with the Briar Patch. Going to 5 mana.
Card's good. Looks good too. Is that by your friend? Drew Tucker.
Oh no, I've made a critical error.
Was it not choosing a different deck?
No. Actually, no, it is very bad, in fact. Indeed.
I gotta get rid of these Lance tokens. Actually, I need to put them on my Viking. That's what
I need a second air threshold for my entire plan. I don't have it in hand, right? I don't have any airs. I only have 1 air on the board. Oh no, Zach. No. This is a problem. Okay. How do we get out of this? We've made an error. We can't lose our plumed Pegasus.
Lester Tisdale saying Drew Tucker art rocks. I agree. Lester's an old Monpok friend. He's
right.
He's from the early days.
That's right. Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. This world we live in. The internet does have some upside.
Oh, what are we gonna do, my man? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Also, I'm a believer. Start singing. Go ahead. In the reality of games, games only dying when people stop playing them.
Hey,
They're talking about Netrunner in the chat.
Swing
Netrunner
for 4.
is anything but dead, and a lot of people are having a lot of fun at it, and it has nothing to do with money.
And then I'll pay 4 for Saracen and swing for 3.
Down to 5.
Yeah.
That's problematic.
Yeah.
For
Put you on the clock next turn
old Rudy.
for Death's Door. Oh, Rudy.
Okay. We gotta deal with this.
But the Saracen Scouters or Saracen Raiders?
Raiders.
Is that right? Yeah, Saracen Raiders. Yeah, I may have
Thank you.
said that wrong. You better watch out, buddy.
Agreed. You're at 16.
Yeah. Maybe it's the best sealed deck ever. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe.
I particularly have to get rid of your Pegasus.
Maybe your opponent is a genius. Have you considered that?
I haven't.
Strictly have not considered that.
No, sir. Thank you, sir. Let's draw and see if we get an answer. Okay.
That was your first turn draw?
Yeah.
Start of the turn draw? Oh, gosh.
Okay. We can work with this. All right, my spell slinger is going to trade with your foot soldier here.
Take one.
Yeah, I know. Vikings are going to swing for 4.
Take it.
Squire is going to swing for 1 here.
Just the sight?
Yeah. Yes.
You can do 3 if you want
to. I'm going to play a thunderstorm here.
Nice. I hope you fail.
There's only 1 unit.
Oh, okay.
So at the end of the round, I do 3 damage to a random unit.
I thought it was random sight. It's random unit?
Random unit atop affected sites.
You got it.
Then you may move thunderstorm 1 step. Last 3 of your turns. Is this turn 0 or turn 1?
This is turn 1.
I think we do want to move. Don't call me what?
Yeah, dude. Put it on.
Over to you.
Put on the heat. Oh, wait. I don't want this. I didn't mean to do that. Forget that. I need to try to find the near site. Okay. Well, we did. That's good news. Don't call me. Okay.
Because I know the rest of your deck is high rollers.
No, I mean, the rest of my deck is absolute heat. Is it a target? Deal damage to a random unit. No. Thunderstorm doesn't care about stealth, does it?
I don't think so. Lightning has
And the
no,
thunder. Boom, boom, boom.
I don't even know what you would call that. There's a word for it.
Lightning knows no
lightning
master.
does not discriminate.
I'm at 11. I have to make some decisions, don't I? You're at 4. What am I at? 11?
Got to run the clock out on this one.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I gotta find a way. It's just you always have a couple options, don't you?
You're at 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
You always got a couple options. You can keep it cool.
Man, this thunderstorm smacks that avatar, though. Woo! The value. I really love those weather auras that move like that.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to build the random deck with Lucky Charms and the Kytheria mechanism. That was called these days.
Yeah.
There's something else in this last set. Oh, it was the 13 Treasures of Britain. It's just like draw equals the number of units you have.
All right, so if I'm reading this correctly, 4, you could do 7.
See you, Alan. He says he'll see us in 9 months.
All right, we'll see you.
Enjoy your day. Hey, you too.
Yeah.
See you. Yeah, Sorcery versus, like, compared to Metazoo is, like, comically... There's a comical gap to me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Now, I will take that comment back when Sorcery releases a coin.
Sore coin?
I will eat that coin, that digital coin, on stream.
I am paralyzed.
It's unfortunate.
I know. It's like...
I mean, you're way further ahead than I would expect.
I know, but there's like a long ball situation. It really depends on where that thunderstorm ends up. Whether it hits... Because you're going to make it to where it only hits either me or the Raiders, depending on where I am.
That's right.
This whole mess. So you got a 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
If you throw Squire into my avatar and you hit with Vikings, I'm taking 7. If I take 4 more from the Thunderstorm, I'm at Death's Door.
Thunderstorm's 3.
See, that's a fun way to do 1 more damage, which is not inconceivable in the world of Sorcery.
Inconceivable.
But I also know that this... I think I'm going to take the safe bet, okay, buddy?
Jello shots, I just loosely do it in my brain and hope I don't mess up. Asking how we track resources. Cardboard Guy's Hand, now we have to get Chase to make coins just as a joke. Maybe we should launch Thor coins.
Easy. Yeah, I'll do that in a heartbeat.
No. Sorcery. There's a way to play coins off of Contested Realm. Like
Coin-tested
realm? Yeah. Sorcery Coin-tested Realm NFT launching April 1st, 2025.
All right.
Join us then to see if it's a joke.
I'm gonna play. What am I gonna do, Zach?
You're going to die.
No. Because the problem is
the sounder. I'm at 4 and Steven's at 11 that you can't read. Ooh, Corlash, genius, saying they should do a Hello Kitty sorcery set. They are doing the Kitty Cat cards, so I can see why the MetaZoo comparable is happening.
Okay. Let's do Raiders here for 3. You cool with that?
Guess so.
And then these are all your sites? Man, that sucks.
Why does that suck?
Well, because I wanted to use this ability. Let's play a treetop hideout and give nobody stealth. I can put it here.
You can get my Viking stealth.
This is nearby allied unit.
Just in case? Oh, okay.
And then we've got 6. We're going to pay 4 to Arc Lightning here. 4 damage to your Vikings.
What?
And then we'll play a Dead of Night Demon here with stealth. You want a token for that? So there's a lot of interesting things there. If I had the 2 air threshold and I was holding this in hand, I think what I actually do is hit your site here, advance here, take you to Death's Door. Next turn, move up. You take me to Death's Door. Next turn, move up and blast you. But because I had to take a turn to play the 2nd air threshold, I was a turn behind.
Here we are.
The March of Death. So now we play it safe. We take 6 maybe. If you want to burn your stuff. Hey, Marco. Sasha in the chat.
Yo.
So you see, yeah, we're exploring some ideas. Here's a question for you, Sasha. Do you think that any TCG has succeeded because it was fun?
I'm going to play Power Flight on my Squire.
Good.
Then he's going to smack here for 3.
You got it.
These go away. Draw a card when I play that. Okay.
That was out of order.
That's fine.
You just change your plans.
Well, good luck proving it.
So now I'm just looking for the kill spell.
And I'm going to play
Is it when you really wish you had remembered what's in your deck?
Keening Banshee here.
Just for the hot cost of 4?
Just straight up. I know. I'm going to tap, draw sight. Should have done that earlier. That's cool. Then, end of turn, I'm going to move the Thunderstorm here.
That you roll first?
Oh, yeah.
Is it your Squire or is it my Spellslinger?
Evens for you.
Evens for me. Evens for Stevens. Okay, I'll take 3.
No, shucks.
That could have been real good for me.
Already?
All right, let's draw a card.
Arbogast back. What do we brew? What do we brew, chaps? Steven's doing the best he can with a bad pull, but he's beating me. I just can't buy a bucket on stream.
Beating you.
The game's not over yet.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see, if I don't need this garbage can. Do I play aggro? Do I play good? That's an inevitable question, isn't it?
When to put on the gas.
Terrence chiming in with some maybe helpful input.
Terrence saying winning? Safe bet. Who's that playing across from Zach?
Okay. I guess we just go to Top Deck City and that's the name of the ball game, right?
I think Jared's on it here. Whoever makes a TCG has to try to please 2 diametrically opposed groups, players and collectors. Players need availability of product, collectors want scarcity of product. And it's a fine tightrope to walk. And I don't think, even serving players, you don't want people buying boxes and those boxes and the cards in them just suddenly being worth a lot less than you paid for them or bought them for. So it's a funny game, though, to play.
All right, swing for 2 is stealth. Get it over with.
That's over, baby.
You could have shenanigans there. We've got to get out. 4 for Keening Banshee there. And then let's actually burrow this Dwarven digging team here.
Hello.
And then I'm going to move.
We cleared them out.
Swing at you for 1. Wait, how much did you have? 1 health left?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm just going to move Dead of Night and swing at you for 1 here.
Okay.
So that he still has stealth. Do we have a stealth? You have a stealth token on the back of a foot soldier or something?
Disable.
I think the back of the lands.
Is it the back of lands?
I think.
Oh, yep. We're still stealthed. We're going to track your avatar down, buddy.
All right. You have 8 left.
8 hours later.
We're going to play the
Ooh.
Perilous Bridge.
What's that do?
You can't, enemies can't traverse this direction up top.
I can't go that way to it.
Mm-hmm. It's like...
That's going to be really annoying. Are you going to move over there at the last second?
You bet it. You bet.
You betcha.
7 open. So...
We both played a full cost Keening Banshee because we love value.
We're just gluttons for punishment.
We're value men.
All right.
Have you drawn already?
Yeah, I have.
Good. Was it bad?
No.
Dang.
I'm just trying to figure out how to trap you. There's a way.
I believe you. I believe you. To some people, the game of a TCG is just the product. The game outside, truly outside the game. They're just like buying pork bellies.
They're buying stonks, man.
Yeah. It's just another coin, man.
But unregulated.
So far.
What could go wrong?
Just wait until the next high profile kid, all money lost, gambling, addictive. They might come in.
That dead idea still having stealth is a thing.
Yeah. He's like creepily stalking you and trying to kill you. And you better hope I don't have another blink, which I don't, because you saw my deck.
I do not know what you're talking about.
And I'm looking for top deck kill you cards.
Yeah, I need to do 8. Hosta Pronto. Well, I think we can get some of that going.
Do some damage? I think so.
I mean, I think you're going to be willing to do it. I'm going to attempt to attack you.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I am willing to do that.
I wanted to make you use your brain on my turn.
No. I'll take 5.
3.
Yeah, go to 5. Right? Zach is at death's door sound.
Let's
Yes.
move the move here. I'm not attacking.
Okay.
You could actually pop up to kill that. I don't like
I
that.
could, yes. I could intercept it right now and kill it. Remember?
Oh, really?
When you enter the site.
I'll swing then. I'll swing.
But then I have the risk of protecting the Banshee. So do I want a body that I can move underground to the wasteland next turn? Or do I want to have the opportunity to end this turn with my Dwarven Digging Team on top of the board and both your Keening Banshee and Reckless Squire dead because of Thunderstorm? Do you take the 50-50 at this point? 5 is a better place to be than 4. 4 is the kind of number you're going to have on the board the moment you play your next card, which is a little bit stressful. Okay, yeah, let's block it.
All right.
I think I'm going to play high wilds.
Free Keening Banshee. Just kidding. Let's play a Lumbering Giant here.
What did I tell you?
Then end of turn, even Steven.
You owe me one. Hit me with the odds.
Odds.
Make a great
This goes
choice
away.
for the record. All right, let's draw from my old spell book. Play a Fine Courser.
No. I'm dead. He won with this pile of garbanzo. Look at that.
The dwarves on a horse,
You can't
baby.
give up on a sealed pool.
You can't give up on a sealed pool.
It reminds me of that Seattle event where I drafted that deck that didn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of like low cost weird stuff.
I think we're undervaluing rush decks broadly in Sorcery.
Yeah. Too focused on the bodies.
We're too focused on the bodies. We're too focused. We're the Arby's employees. We should be focused on in and out. Oh wow!
This leap attack. If you don't kill my Vikings, the turn you kill my Vikings. I was gonna move attack for 1 with a squire here, give them lance tokens. Then I was gonna leap attack in. It was gonna be like 10. I could get you the death door from 11 if you don't kill the Vikings.
I love the art on leap attack.
Yeah.
So you were distraught when I did that. You didn't show it.
No.
You played it cool, man.
Yeah.
You played it real cool.
Just came from a pro tour. Look at that. I'm happy you won.
Hey, thanks.
That's
important
That
to have
inspires
friends.
me to not just give up on a sealed pool next time.
You know what's crazy too? None of that happens if I don't bring the Dwarven Digging Team up and you miss the Thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Because it would have been underground still. There's nothing else I could put on the Corsair.
Oh, that's funny because it has to be your location.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could like put it here and bring the cursor over
Not the same.
and put it here, but it's not the same. So like
Yeah.
that's what's so amazing about TCGs. In fact, that's why I don't know that the AI can ever really nicely solve that kind of puzzle, right? Because what do you do?
Yeah.
What are the odds of drawing the courser? What are the odds of you missing the
there's no way.
thunderstorm? It probably was lower odds that actually works.
But what I love about Sorcery is that the way you would describe that is my Dwarven digging team blocked the Squire,
You can see it.
and then the Banshee got hit by lightning. And then they hopped on the fine courser and charged over to kill the Spellslinger.
It's amazing, right?
It's like the fact that I can say that sentence is really amazing.
And this is what is so great about Sorcery is this card in this game was the most heroic card in my deck. Like the story of this deck
all about the
is
Dwarven
right
digging
now about the
team,
Dwarven
yeah.
digging team, rather than it's like a planeswalker and it's naturally awesome. It's like no, your imagination in each story is different.
And apologies to whoever I told I would try to talk more about what I was doing and why I was doing it throughout the game, because I did none of that. I will say at the end there, my plan was to play the Giants over there, and I figured you probably can't deal with them. And if you can't, then
That was
there's no way for
accurate.
you not to go to that. Like I will, because I have the move and strike card.
Yeah, that's another any side without enemy.
So I knew I could get Death's Door, and then my other card besides the strike was the magic missiles. So then I just need to shoot
You'd
at
be
you.
able to find it.
So I was
yeah.
going to move here and just hopefully hole up in there.
I knew there was Saracen Scout is also awesome here too. Duncan, although he doesn't have charge. Bear is not good. Warhorse, another good one.
So you had two.
I had a Warhorse and a Courser.
You had 2 cards left out of like 14 that could do that exact thing. So that's actually a really good play
If I have a Heat Ray,
if you're thinking about it, right? Like
Heat Ray would have worked.
the fact that you're probably 1 in 7 to draw a card that just wins the game if you go there and the lightning bolt misses.
So
Definitely shots get too.
cards that would have won the game. I don't think I could have got there. Minor doesn't do it. So 4 cards.
No. Oh yeah. Because you didn't already have the horse. I was gonna say minor would do it if you already had the horse because you could play, move, move, drop.
Sick.
Yeah. So it was
So
it was a
4
way better play than
cards-
expected.
4 cards out of how many? Basically 12. So 4 out of 12. That's a 1 in 3
So
chance.
it's
to
a
win
1 in
the
3
game.
chance if the 50-50 lightning bolt
Oh, wait, I
goes your
didn't
way.
count these. 5, 6, 7. So a little less than a 1 in 3.
So it's like 1 in 4 chance if the lightning misses,
Yeah.
which is a 50-50.
Yeah.
So it's a 1 in 8 chance to just win the game.
That's true.
And I felt like you were in a good position with these 2 units anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you miss, you move, and you're just like hunting you down. And you also have this lane blocked off for your, if you draw any direct damage avatar stuff.
Maybe the machines can solve this.
So
Dang it.
I've been spending too much time with Hamilton, so I can figure that math out
It's
real
all
quick.
too much odds. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, everybody.
And
That's
listen.
1 3-hour way to play a game.
If you're Eric's Curious out there, please just keep doing what you're doing. Make a great game. Make it available to people. The rest will eventually take care of
It
itself.
takes care of itself.
Even Arthurian Legends, the second
Always
wave showed
happens.
up and the prices were going down. But like in time, if the product's good, I just am super confident in the experience.
The
Like people are gonna
product-
keep wanting to pick it up.
Product is the ultimate truth teller.
Yeah.
You can't get around it. And we have beautiful pieces of fantasy art from some of the best artists to ever do it in cards. Love it.
Also,
Love everything about it.
I love being able to say this, which is we have a finite amount of beta left. It's not going to be around for long, but it's not gone forever because there's going to be some amount more showing up in the future. Whether or not we'll have it, I don't know. But they've said they're planning to reprint some amount.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
I genuinely do think that that's going to be extremely targeted to the local stores. I think if it were me, if I was thinking about this from the perspective of a publisher and kind of reading between the lines of like what all has been said publicly and the frustration they've run into with getting products at stores that are actually good, that they're going to try to solve this with the dust system maybe. And it's
Yeah.
going to be like, okay, dust hosting stores who have done all these events, we're going to send you 4 boxes of beta and a draft kit or something as like you can run events with it.
It's also if you're targeting new stores too,
That's even better.
that's really clever because if product is limited and you're a new store and you get 4 boxes and you're hosting beta drafts as an example,
Yeah.
but you can't otherwise get beta, any would-be sorcery interest around you should be flocking and now you kind of have the sparks to maybe light the fire of that local community existing.
What if you do this? And this is the problem. Distro would not do this, but what if you had it where
1,000-pound elephant in the room?
if you get a new store, register with the events, whatever, and schedule a beta introductory event, then they send you 4 beta booster boxes and a couple of play mats.
I think they can figure that out even out of distribution.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I digress.
We'll see you later. Have a good one. Take care.